Hello, and that just kind of moved right on to me. It didn't even do like a little transition or anything. Whatever. Ta-da. We're here. It's Q&A Thursday. You're excited. We're excited. By the way, who's we? Dane Hennon right here in the middle. Dane. I got Levi Gates off to my right. And to my left, I got Anthony Fisher.
Thanks for having me, Dane.
It's a good time. It's always a good time here on Q&A Thursday, a.k.a. Friday Eve. And we got folks slowly and quickly rolling in here. So as they build up, housekeeping, what are some things we can talk about while we allow everybody to kind of take their seats, get ready to really throw us some questions.
Grab a drink,
some comments.
Well, some snacks.
Friday Eve, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's ready for the weekend, the end of the week. Getting ready to maybe get the barbecues out.
Do a
little barbecue cleaning.
Some flipping, right?
Maybe some flipping. I busted out mine last weekend, and I did some hot dogs.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah. A little bit of flipping. And some brats.
A little bit of tipping,
Yep,
right?
a little both.
Did some brat tipping.
Yep.
I like that.
I ate those. They were delicious. It was great.
Okay. Now, on your brats, right, I know how you prep your hot dogs a particular way.
Can't cut my brats like that.
You don't cut your brats like that.
No, I need them to marinate in their sacks.
Yeah.
Only problem is,
I thought you give like a relief cut or something.
No, because all the liquid, all the juices come out, Dane. You need that snap.
Yep.
You need to be able to take a bite and have that snap.
One of the bratwurst. Yeah.
So, my problem is I need a Vusta.
A Vusta.
A bratwurst cooker.
I need Dirk's Vusta.
That was so good.
So that I can cook my brats appropriately at my own. I wonder if I can buy one on Amazon. I might be able to get one shipped.
Probably. Yeah, maybe.
Because here's what I noticed. When I was cooking up them brats, I cooked up all the hot dogs, right? Brought them in for the kids. And then I stood out there for a little while longer and let those brats cook. So they take a long time.
They do.
And I pulled them off. And let's just say some of them needed to go back on the grill.
Undercooked, no way.
Well, undercooked. Nothing like an undercooked brat.
Yeah.
Well, the point
to upset
of
your stomach.
That device is to cook them nice and evenly.
It
and
is
not
even.
just like rush to it with too much heat because then you ruin it. You want to get the right mixture of like a little bit of a finish on the outside, but you still want to have the heat evenly distributed.
I will say, we had Anthony, I cannot stress enough how amazing that Verster is.
It really was.
And the brats that Dirk was using and he just called them Wursts. They weren't brats. I go, ooh, bratwursts. And they're like, no, these are just Wursts.
Stop calling it that.
And the rolls, the bread. Oh, the bread. The bakery. Bakery rolls.
Simple, yet
that
amazing.
He cut and gave to us. And then all they had was a little bit of ketchup and some mustard. And we put mustard on ours. Dane and I did.
Yep.
And
did it the proper way.
Great snap. It was great to see the line forming.
Yeah. Really was.
Of people going, oh, these guys got some. We'll get in
line
other people
here. Walking by. That was a thing at Frankfurt though. Is everywhere you walked around, people were doing like food stuff.
They had
in their
food
booths.
in their booths.
The booths all had like food related.
Sound like you needed
things.
Tony's wings and berries at the event.
It really.
I just needed Tony there to go give a food review of all the food in everyone's booths.
Yeah. I would have done that.
You could have done a live,
and then
Dane,
he could go upstairs and do all the aromas,
and then
from
do all the aromas.
actual like
a real missed opportunity.
I know.
So
huge missed.
This year, right?
Next year.
Yeah, sorry, maybe next
not
year.
2024. Auto Mechanica, get ready for that, guys.
Yeah, we will see. Do that. Anyway, so other housekeeping things that we need to tackle.
Yes.
If you guys missed yesterday's live show, you can go back and stream that at your convenience at the Rag Company YouTube channel. Now, that was a update on my wife's 4Runner that was coded in Diamond Body 36 back in August.
Like 7 months ago.
Yeah. It happened quite some time ago. And what's funny is that somebody was talking, they're like, hey, I couldn't find that video. And I believe it was a Q&A.
I commented and helped him out. Yeah. So what we did was we incorporated that live job into a Q&A we were doing.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a normal live detail on a different day. It happened on a Thursday. So we were like, well, it's Q&A. There's going to be a ton of questions about this. So we're going to bring on, Tony and Matt and those guys, and we'll just have the whole thing done. Yeah. Avi was there answering comments as well. Mm-hmm. It was a good mix. But it's a Q&A. And it happened around the end of August last year. So if you're looking for it, that's where it is. Otherwise, you can look on the actual stream we did yesterday on the checkup. And in the comments, I wrote, as the Rag Company, I wrote to somebody and said, here's a link to help you out. So
anyway, I mean, that was a great video yesterday. It was basically just a coding check just to see how things are doing. And I'm not surprised, but I mean, it held up great. I mean, basically the water behavior is fantastic. It was really dirty. It looked clogged. So we had to give it a wash, but after the wash, all that water behavior came back, which was just awesome to see. And then we also did a walk around with just a scan grip light to show that that surface was not marred or scratched or anything during that time. I mean, granted, the car wasn't washed, but I mean, it was covered in filth, and my wife had been rubbing up all over it, right? So the fact that it survived all that was awesome. So you can go check that out. And then also, if you guys, hopefully you guys got your sale orders in last weekend. The sale ended on Monday. Very successful sale. We know a lot of people scored some really cool stuff.
They're still packing orders.
They're still packing a few orders there. So hopefully you guys will have your orders here within this week or by next week, which is really cool, with your limited edition stickers as well as maybe your limited edition long sleeve shirts. Right?
Yeah.
Or maybe you were lucky enough to score free Skinette.
From Stern
with a good pickup line.
With the Eaglet 450s, right?
Yep.
You never know. So that happened, which was awesome. And then also the Grand Ambassador runner-up care packages have gone out, right? The
Excellent.
prizes. And they scored pretty big. They're getting some really cool stuff. I don't want to ruin the surprise, but they got some really good stuff. And I don't know if we talked about this. Did we talk about the grand prize for the Grand Ambassador of the Year?
You talked a little bit about it. They're going to be able to come, basically all expenses paid to TRCMA.
Yeah. So Bradley from Perfect Detail USA, Grand Ambassador of the Year. He is the bearer of the crown for 2022. Right? No, I mean,
it's always the previous year. That's how awards work.
Still bear the crown for 2023 as well until we find a new winner. But he'll be joining us, and I think it's just going to be a ton of fun. I mean, he's also going to be getting some really cool detailing products, a lot of swag, and then obviously hanging out with the coolest people in the industry, right? Guys? Us?
It's less cool when you have to say it.
Say it like
us.
Okay.
It's less cool.
Also, however, there'll be Grand Ambassador of the Year 2020 is going to be there.
Yes.
Justin Dean. Grand Ambassador of the Year 2021.
Yep.
We'll
Alex
be there.
Duar will be here as well. So some detailing Grand Ambassador royalty, so to speak.
Yeah.
He'll get to hang out with.
I think so.
Which will be nice. We'll get
we're
the three.
We're putting Dewar to work.
They'll be here working, enjoying themselves.
Somebody call it mounting doer, right?
Some might be calling it mounting doer.
Yeah.
Part of the way it works, right?
Yeah. So that's kind of the fun part about TRCMA. Again, TRCMA is the beginning of April, for those who don't know.
Madness.
People that are here, we want them to be our guests, and we want them to be treated, like fairly.
They might have to take out the trash. You never know.
They might have to do
sweep up
some labor around here. I mean, the thing is
all expenses paid trip to do some janitorial work. Are you excited?
You might have to go over to Dane's house and pull weeds.
Oh my God!
I'm just saying
stuff.
Right?
He's got a mountain, and
Alex
sometimes
did
there's
some of the best
wood.
floor cleaning we've ever had.
He did.
He's talented. He got to ride the Zamboni, right?
Yeah, he did get to ride the Zamboni, and so
as all Canadians should.
Justin, I'm sure he did some. Well, he was imitating Jack, which was a job in itself. So that's a job.
He worked on his imitation so well.
Yeah,
he was able to pass for Jack at SEMA.
Yep.
Yeah, some people thought,
which was amazing,
that he was until he talked.
Yeah. So we'll see what's in store for Bradley and what's in store for all the attendees here at TRCMA. So we're really excited. But yeah, that's pretty much it for housekeeping, sales stuff, TRCMA, Ambassador stuff. And hopefully you guys have been enjoying our reels on Instagram. We're trying to make these a little bit more fun and kind of funnier. Trying to basically, work our personalities into
fun,
this.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. So we're trying to find some fun things to do. So hopefully you guys have been watching those and enjoying them. But that's it. So let's go ahead and jump into some of these questions, Dane.
Glossy Bear leading us off with, first from Carson City, Nevada.
What's up, dude?
Hello, dude. And wow, there's 3 pages now. I got to go all the way back. Little details. Looking forward to another great Q&A to help pass the time on this snowy day. Where are you that it's snowing right now? I'm curious.
Nice.
Harry Housewife, Harry Horswife, Levi, you got this one?
Ready and awaiting the 3 wise men of TRC. Andy, Dave and Lewis. Seemed like it's been at least a week since I last saw you on my screen.
We were here yesterday and the day before on live.
Yeah, we were, dude.
I don't know where you've been.
We've got Levi Birch is here.
Yes.
Also known as Simon Birch,
Man.
the Birch Man.
Yeah.
Alex, Mounting Doer, says, catching this one later. Oh, my gosh. Have a fantastic Friday Eve. Great work on yesterday's live. Thank you, Alex.
I guess he has a lot to look forward to when he comes back and watches this.
Yeah, he does. Floor cleaning.
Yeah. Adam Hancock, happy Friday Eve, TRC, best part of the work week.
Yeah.
Gorilla Jeebus. What's up, boys? Regarding yesterday's live video, which soap did the heavier lifting, Mata or Active Foam? I feel like O&R Absolute wouldn't be strong enough for that kind of job. Wrong.
Yeah, I think that
They could do
O&R
it.
or Absolute could have done the job. I think it's all about the pre-soak, man. I mean, if that was pre-soaked,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have any fear in doing that job. People just underestimate the power
Exactly.
of a pre-soak.
People vastly underestimate what a
And-
rinseless can do.
I mean, a little bit of that. You could also use a little bit of a waterless wash if you feel, that would be even safer.
You could have totally pressure washed that,
Yeah.
then used a waterless wash,
Yeah.
and then just gone straight into
Could
your
have done that, yeah.
rinseless, and you would have been fine.
Yeah.
You would have had the exact same results.
But I wouldn't have been afraid to knock that out with a rinseless. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of dirt buildup. There was for sure. Wheels probably wouldn't have been as clean, but I think for the paint work, I wouldn't have felt uncomfortable doing that.
Fair.
We have Alpha Detail Supply, and then we got Joey Belinsky saying, "What's up, fellas? Happy Thursday, happy Thursday,
Happy
Joey."
Thursday to you. Whoop. And another Glossy Bear copy. Wow, that's kind of weird. They doubled up.
Well, Glossy Bear says
no,
first
there's
from
all
Carson
over.
City,
Oh,
Nevada.
they've
right?
all
no,
doubled up.
it's repeating.
It's 3 pages of the same thing.
So
but-
strangely,
I think Glossy Bear might be our only Nevada listener.
I think he is too. Yeah.
if you're from Nevada and you're not Glossy Bear, speak up.
There you go. Gorilla Jeebus, and can that process be done substituting active foam with APC and Mata with a rinseless? Yeah, oh, totally. When I tried the rinseless, sat flat on the really dirty parts. The car was coated 18 months ago. Huh, strange.
I mean, yeah, it's going to sit flat probably when you're rinsing.
But you need to wash. You
gotta
I notice when people
agitate
do
it.
it, but you have to do it a couple times.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll wipe a panel with rinseless,
Yeah.
and the water as it runs down, you'll notice it'll like not be as hydrophobic. But all I do is I dunk my sponge again, and I do the panel one more time,
Yeah.
and I get the rest of it all off,
Yeah.
and then it's
True.
right back to normal clean panel. It's crazy. So I think a lot of people just aren't doing it a second time.
Yeah, you just
on the
gotta.
panel.
You just gotta like. I don't know. It's not. It's not what the word I'm looking for.
Rocket science?
It's not rocket science. It's
No.
just it's muscle memory. It's
Yeah.
knowing what that's going to look like. Using your body to remember. Okay, hey, this should we need multiple wipes here, and it's all situational too. But once you get used to it, it becomes very natural, right? But I can also see why it's easy for people to overthink things like that. So
Sure.
yeah, I wouldn't overthink it. Keith Jackson says Thursday is the new Friday with TRC Q&A.
I know. It's nice when
Keith,
you feel
thank
that
you,
way.
Thank you very much. We're
Yes.
glad that we can make you feel that way.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
important.
All right. Back
Alpha
to
giving
these.
us a what's up. Joey saying what's up. Happy Thursday.
we're
getting-
Franco, little chonker squirrel in the house. What's up, everyone?
Hey.
Oh,
Ron
Franco.
Ayotte.
A yacht.
Good afternoon and happy Friday Eve, everybody. What's up, buddy?
Happy Friday.
Keith Jackson. Hey, TRC. I got some overspray of Meguiar's hybrid ceramic wax on the windshield. Any suggestions on how to remove it? A razor blade.
Okay.
That's the easiest, fastest way. Yeah, if you can't wipe it off with a glass cleaner, just get a razor blade and just give it a little
Assuming
scrub.
it's on your windshield.
Double out
yeah.
steel wool,
Quad-Ot.
quad aught.
Yeah, I
could do
need more.
double.
I ran out.
Yeah, it's crazy how much you're like, damn, I need more
Dude,
steel wool.
Quad-Ot steel wool is amazing. It is.
Matt Trollin saying much love from the nation's capital. Hope you guys have a great show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Franco saying, Gorilla Jeebus, I did a regular maintenance rinseless wash on my girlfriend's Honda that I coated with Adam's Advanced Graphene Spray, and I had to go over a couple spots twice on the lowers. Yep, that's what I'm
that's
saying.
fine.
David Cervani saying, what's up,
Hey,
guys? What are you doing? Alpha
Again,
giving us another
Ace
peace
just
sign.
Keeps going.
And then Hans, hello, and word up from the Netherlands.
Hey, hey.
Ed Iverson, happy post-Valentine's Friday Eve. What's up, man? And then Alpha finally saying hi from Calexico,
There we go. There's some words.
California.
Nice.
And then Glenn Davis saying it's been balmy here in New York.
All right.
Look at that pompadour. It's a nice haircut there.
That's pretty good. You also
Glenn
have a pompadour?
Dennis? Huh. I did.
No.
I used to.
My mother-in-law's ex-husband. Well, soon to be ex-husband.
Oh, very nice.
This our favorite Southerner.
Our favorite Southern California.
Did you know because he's in jail right now?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal. I can talk about it. He's in jail right now, and
he was operating a fan boat without a license.
Well, he was doing a lot of things. Anyways, so it's crazy. They went and basically started clearing out their house, right? Because they're planning on separating some of these things,
right,
through the separation.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And my wife had to go over there to go clean up some stuff as well and help her mom sort some stuff because her mom's like, I got to get out of this place and out of this situation, right? Don't blame her, right? No. You got this Southerner here who loves jail, right?
Yeah, he loves jail.
Loves jail. Anyway, found a whole lot of just Nazi memorabilia around the house, and, which is horrible, right?
Right.
But it's all collectible stuff, and it looks so bad because Katie's like, "What is all this stuff?" And her mom's like, "Oh, he just collects that kind of stuff." And I'm like,
"He likes World War II stuff."
No, he loves World War II stuff, right?
Don't walk, run.
Yeah, and so at that point, I'm like, Katie, get out of that house. You got to get out of that house and save yourself. Yeah. But apparently, there's a comb there that has like.
Okay.
Horrible. And anyways, why is this
We're
relevant?
so demonetized.
It's not relevant, but I'm just saying whenever I see a pompadour, it reminds me of him, and I'm so sorry. I probably should think before I speak.
Yeah,
anyway,
great.
Moving on here.
TPD Details CR saying, hi, team. Hope everything's good in Idaho. Does PNS have an acid wheel cleaner? Looking for a replacement for Meg's wheel brightener as I use it for water spots and emblems as well. Yes, they do.
Yeah.
You can just check out pnsdetailsupplies.com.
PNS will have it, and then I don't know. I mean, wheel brightener though might be if you're looking for. I mean,
you can't beat Meg's wheel brightener. It's a nice wheel brightener. It's on
Amazon. It's Prime. It's pretty affordable. So yeah, if you find what you like,
you guys could also check out the Sydney used Crystal Wash.
Yeah.
On a video that just released on PNS's YouTube
recently.
channel.
Did.
You can check that out.
People have been asking about Crystal Wash. They've been asking us about Crystal Wash. Yeah. We do not currently sell Crystal Wash.
No, we do not.
But you can definitely pick it from PNS. In Focus Photography says 74 here yesterday and 55 today. Crazy winter in PA. My wife isn't complaining. It's always better on her B-day.
Bitter on her birthday.
Oh, bitter. Oh. It's always bitter on her birthday. She's not bitter, but it's always bitter. Yeah. And celebrating her big 40 day. Well,
nice.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Congrats on the 4-0.
We have a Hunter in the house saying, what's up, my dudes? Happy Thursday. Anyone going to see Ant-Man this weekend?
I forgot that was coming out.
So
I've also heard some kind of middling things.
What?
Heard it's not that good.
You heard it's not that good?
Yeah.
Who said that?
Are you sure, Dane?
Reviews I've caught online are kind of like,
I don't know, man. Phase 4 has just been...
It's been a mess. It's been a mess.
Other than...
I didn't see like half the ones that came out.
Shang-Chi, right?
Yeah.
Which is the best movie.
It was a great movie. A wonderful
It was at least enjoyable. I'll give it that.
It was great. And I also loved right after that, I loved She-Hulk. I thought She-Hulk literally the worst show. A show you could watch over and over again.
Literally the worst show ever made.
Oh, no.
But no, Ant-Man, the thing was, dude...
I love Ant-Man.
I love Paul Rudd.
I love the first one. I love the second one.
I didn't like the second one.
I'm going to probably love the third one.
I like the first one. I like Ant-Man. I like Paul Rudd as a as a feature in the film, but not as the full thing.
I enjoy him.
You don't like him as
personality.
Ant-Man?
No, I think
that's what you're saying.
I think Ant-Man is kind of like the idea of the character just isn't that cool.
Hey, come on.
He gets small and then he gets big.
He's underestimated.
He gets small and he gets big.
I know he's underestimated, but it's just not that cool to me personally.
So go really small.
A little silly.
Jeff C says, "What coating what coating was on that Yukon cleaned with Absolute in the IG rail? Since got some people riled up in the comments with the."
With that one.
Disgraceful, typical
what
American.
coating was on that Yukon that you guys cleaned with Absolute on the IG reel? Sure got some people riled up in the comments with that one. Disgraceful, typical Americans.
Like, what were they upset about?
Because it was a big Yukon XL, maybe. I don't know.
It was the whole you're just going to scratch your car thing.
Oh, because people who
you don't want to get me
use
riled up about this.
So that was
actually
Diamond Protex Pro 120. that was on the Yukon. That's
but
Jeff, the owner of Rag Company.
Dude, the comments in
Yukon.
there, I have to stop responding to them because I get really upset about them.
They get more mad because they're like, how dare you respond to me?
And I want to say really rude things, and I remember that I'm
insult.
representing a company, so I can't do that. And so I have to kind of just play it cool and let other people battle these battles for me. But it blows my mind how many people still think rinseless washing is unsafe. It's mind-boggling.
Spoiler alert, those people are wrong, and I will stand on top of a mountain and scream that they are wrong.
How many videos do we have to make? How many Q&As do we have to do? How many all this until people
those people are brain broken and will never be convinced otherwise.
This actually works, and this is actually a positive thing. And it's funny because I go on some of these people's profiles that are, talking smack about rinseless washing, and I see they're rocking car covers on everything.
Yeah.
And I go, that car cover is going to do more damage than that rinseless wash
scratching
is
your
going to
car
do.
more than 100%.
100%. And whatever, we're wrong.
Yeah.
It's all good.
But the problem is then when you respond to them, you end up in
anymore.
this whole rabbit hole scenario where they go, oh yeah, show me on a black panel with a live feed and have a light on and do this specific thing. And then when you do something just slightly out of sequence, you didn't do it right. So automatically I don't believe it. It's like that person was never going to believe you. So if you, listener, if you get into a fight with somebody online about it, honestly, you can just stop and not humor them because they're just going to take you down that rabbit hole.
My favorite was all the people who got mad at me for wearing a watch
better.
and a belt.
Be happy
detailing,
about that.
Oh, and a ring.
Oh, and your ring, you should probably take that wedding ring.
You should probably take all that stuff off.
Yeah.
I only wear the softest yoga pants. Oh, okay.
Washing a car. I got a watch on.
Well,
oh, no.
It's not,
yeah.
that's the guys that say they do it in the nude. And
Right.
I go,
There's those guys that go, I wear the microfiber apron naked.
Yeah.
That's all, because I don't want to damage the vehicle.
There's a Bowden's own product for that.
I've been doing this longer than most of them have been alive.
You ever think about,
I have a stronger muscle memory than they do.
So these people that are so freaked out about scratching their cars and rinseless washing and using belts and wearing things like that, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking about this the other day. You could be super crazy, super meticulous. You could be worried about every single small thing like that. But I would almost guarantee you that those people probably aren't doing their own mechanical work, right?
Agreed.
I doubt that those guys are doing their own oil changes. I doubt that those guys are doing anything engine related to keep that car running, right? And because of that, right, they could care about all these other small little things. But what happens when that dirty mechanic leans over your vehicle, right, wearing the belt, working on working on the inside of your engine bay?
Well, hopefully they'll have a fender defender,
right? And they probably don't. Sometimes they might do, but if they're throwing that fender defender or that piece of
vinyl leather,
that whatever the heck they throw
magnets.
over those magnet things, don't you think that's probably going to do more damage than?
But in fairness, your point of view comes from someone who has cars that are capable of being worked on by an individual fairly simply, and you can do those small things. If you have a more complex car, something modern with a lot of electronics in it and fidgety stuff, difficult things,
saying that
it becomes more of a concern not to have this debate. But I'm just saying, for the people who pay to have someone else work on their car, that's not necessarily a character flaw.
No, it's not. I'm not.
No, it
saying,
is 100%.
No,
Okay,
see,
so-
he'll say that.
so
I
it's
disagree
100%
with that.
character. You need to be able to do everything on your car at all
these
times.
People will be
Otherwise, you shouldn't be allowed to own a car.
Right.
They freak out about the washing process, right? But when it comes to the maintenance or somebody having to actually work on their car, right, and leaning over it, what happens then?
Yeah.
Right? What happens when you're going to be the person that's going to nitpick every small little thing? Look at this small little thing that the mechanic put into it. I don't know. I just wonder how crazy can you get about that kind of stuff before it's especially if you're not doing it yourself.
Or you're like the person that we know that has never physically washed their vehicle and don't because their vehicle is a accessory in their life that they don't care about. And we used their vehicle many times to create videos in the past. They are also the person that will never work on it, but then they'll be the one that goes, yeah, I went through the mechanic ran it through the car wash and now it's got all these issues. Or is it because you never took care of the car in the first place?
See, I stay up on maintenance. If something goes wrong, it's because it never presented it before.
Yeah, Dane finds things that are getting ready to go wrong and he fixes them.
And then I have to, pay an exorbitant amount to make some of those things.
But then you too can pick up a car.
But then you too can pick up a smooth running machine that has had everything done.
Seriously.
100%. Seriously, whoever buys his Jag is getting a great deal.
You're getting a car that I essentially made new for myself, not realizing I was going going to be selling
Have you ever wanted to steal from Dane? Because now it's your opportunity.
Now's your opportunity.
You can steal this
It's essentially
car.
good to run for the
You
next
could buy it
100,000
for
miles.
less than he bought it for when he did his Jag venture.
How frustrating
But
for
okay,
me.
before we move on, do you understand what I'm trying to say? I know
Yeah.
it probably sounds really confusing with the way I was trying to word that. But
Delicious Mexican lunch with the IROC lady.
You know,
I understand.
I
I know what you're saying.
And Presty remembers what food it was.
It's the people might be worried about these things, but eventually that car is going to be in the hands of other people that are not going
Right.
to be as
Yes.
careful.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about as careful as
think
a
about-
ring or
yeah.
as careful as
But
a
think
belt.
about-
but
Sure.
like,
But
even
think about
worse.
the Montero.
Yeah.
Think about how great that car was at one time.
At one time, it was probably a
Early in
great
its life,
car.
I'm
It
sure
was
it was
probably a wonderful. The person that bought that
Yeah.
was so excited to buy that. They're like, "Wow, this is gonna be a great, safe, four-wheel drive vehicle for our family.
Yeah, it's quirky.
It's gonna be.
Yeah.
It's quirky. It's fun. It's got
fun, it's
some.
off-roady.
It's
Kinda
got
goofy.
some fun shapes and stuff.
Third gen
and then
Montero, baby.
and then they, they're like, it's done its job. We'll send it to somebody else.
Yeah.
The next person gets it, drives it, goes, man, it was a good running rig. We're gonna give it to our son.
Yeah, it'll be a great first car for him.
Great first car for him.
The words deferred maintenance come to mind.
That kid destroyed that car.
Yeah.
He wanted to lift
And
it.
then Dane said, ooh, that's a deal. I'm
Dirt
gonna
cheap,
give me
it
that.
looks cool. Yeah.
get it.
That,
All right.
that car has positive camber.
It was
Car
kind
had
of insane.
positive camber and needed a bunch of work to it.
There was
but
a
that
lot
thing was
wrong with that
but
thing.
that thing literally deteriorated completely.
That thing
Like-
is one of the only cars I've ever had that actually had rust, and there was a lot of rust going on underneath.
Yeah.
It was weird because around here cars don't rust.
And then we found that one in the junkyard that was perfect.
No,
Yeah,
my
beautiful.
favorite part is the Montero, which was eventually sold, but still actually registered in Dane's name.
I got my little pickup truck as like a direct trade, so the dealership
sketchy
took it's
dealership.
just like whatever dealership. I'm like, whatever, I'm just getting out of this Montero because I wouldn't want to sell that to him. I was just like, whatever, take it. And I got this little truck that ended up having a head gasket issue, which is great because that's what happens when you're dealing in like $2,000 cars. But this
Or
Montero
sketchy
went off.
dealers.
Or just
I got a call.
sketchy cars.
I got a call from the police saying the last registered name on this vehicle is
used in a
you.
gunfight.
And well, not that part. It was on the side of the road. They found it abandoned and like with a pop tire or like a tire was missing off one of the wheels. It was just like somewhere.
So, come get
and
your
I was
car.
just like, and we were on a shoot. We were shooting last TRCMA's like intro videos. We were up in the
Bogus.
mountains,
Yeah.
and I get this call, and I'm like, what the. What? So yeah,
So technically, you still own that vehicle.
first, when you look at like the registration, I haven't touched
But
it
you're
in 3
supposed
years.
to fill out that top piece of paper
I
and
did.
mail that in.
I did all that part, but because it was
releases
a dealership, I did all my part with the thing, and I
It's a
handed it off
sketchy
to them.
dealership.
Yeah.
So I'm not responsible for what they do. I sold the vehicle as far as
So
paperwork
funny.
is
Good
concerned.
stuff.
And
The
it's just like,
situations that we
God.
find ourselves
People
in.
are-
Rafael Roca says, it's Thursday. What's up, everyone? Favorite day of the week. And then we've got...
I've got to find.
Franco says, hey there, bearded hunter.
Yeah.
And then
Franco saying,
Ed
hey.
says, I think we need a Verst scented interior cleaner.
I believe
gross.
so.
Man.
And then Keith Jackson saying, yes, the bearded hunter, I may have to bring my 6-year-old son to see Ant-Man. And Gorilla Jiva says, maybe my coating is just dead. Ed says, Dane, you're looking slimmer and trimmer.
Aw.
All you guys are looking healthy. Well done. Thanks.
Thank
We've basically recreated the UK cut on our own
haven't.
without any of that.
Haven't.
Yeah.
Mine is stress.
haven't.
Dane is actual workout and lifestyle changes. Anthony is not really doing much other than being a dad and lifting a baby.
Yeah. Yeah, she's
Hey,
getting
being a
heavier.
dad is
She's getting
Definitely.
heavier, so it's kind of like a
Heavier.
progressive
It's a
weight
program
thing.
now.
So I'm doing a lot of presses.
Yeah, while you're throwing her in the air.
Yep, works out good. Simon Birch says, remember to drop that like.
Thank you, Simon.
And then we have Edmund that says, Franco LOL. And then we have In Focus Photography says, got diamond body and diamond wheel kits coming tomorrow from the sale.
Nice.
Nice.
Raphael saying, hopefully this isn't a silly question, but do you need clear coat to apply a coating to a vehicle? I'm polishing off oxidation and wasn't sure if I could coat over it or if I should just PPF instead. So good question, Raphael. Single stage paint like that,
Is it single stage or is he talking about clear that's oxidized?
or clear that's oxidized, depends on how far it's oxidized. If he's saying there's no clear and it's just normal oxidation, it's probably single stage. If it is single stage, you can coat over it. Not every coating can do that. So Optimum Gloss Coat you can put on. G-Technic C1 you can coat with. I haven't tried many others. I think Inspiration Soul you could coat over with.
Yeah, I think you can do it. I just don't know what the reaction's going to be like and if it's actually going to hold up or if it might just... Because some of the coatings that maybe aren't as permeable, it may actually cause it to dull with a little bit of time, maybe dull faster, but it'd still technically be protected.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, when we coated my truck, which is single-stage paint, on my truck, it lasted about 8 months of still looking glossy, but then it just started chalking up again.
Well, and it's because that surface is almost alive.
Yeah, it is. It's breathing. It's just like the creatures in The Last of Us. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you could try that. The thing is with oxidation, if you do PPF over it, I can't really oxidize anymore because I don't think air can really get to it at that point. So I think if you PPF over it, I think it would technically lock that in and it'd probably keep it from getting any worse.
But you'd have to do the whole car.
But the whole car or the whole
panel
that's affected by that. Otherwise, it will continue to spread. Yeah. Franco says, Gorilla Jeebus, hydrophobics came back like a champ. I think it was just the fact that all I use is Rinseless as a pre-treat and wash, no foam. The car was dirty.
Dirty.
Joey's asking who else won a bottle. I think it was Forced Induction Drive, Kevin, that won a bottle also. And
what was his line?
I don't know. I got to find out. But
share it, Kevin.
There was I know Joey's was the first one in, and let's just say Amber and some of the ladies over there were howling.
Okay,
they loved Joey's line. I'm not going to repeat it on here, but
it's that kind.
It was great.
There we go. Edmund says, "Can you give us some tips on how you dissuade?"
Dissuade.
I use a tunnel wash, but I use a touchless tunnel wash.
Well, so here's where...
Have them talk to me. I'll ruin them.
But here's the thing.
Even this guy uses tunnel washes.
I did yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a little tunnel wash to get you going.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I will say you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So when you have to fight against a tunnel wash, you will always lose.
Mm-hmm. The convenience
you cannot beat a tunnel wash in the speed, the efficiency, and the damage that it's going to cause to you. However, I will say that as a detailer, stop looking at the tunnel washes as an enemy and start looking at them as a job creator.
They're a job generator. They're your friend.
Because of the fact that if it's a tunnel wash that you go to or you send your customers to, go talk to those folks. Or if you find that a lot of your customers are already members there, go take your car through and go meet with the store manager or whatever, the wash manager, and give them your business cards. Yeah. Take a stack of them. Go let them know and say, hey, if anything happens, accidents happen all the time at an automatic wash. Mm-hmm. Give me a call. 9 times out of 10, their insurance company is willing to pay for that job. And if you can get in there, you will find that they will probably call you once a month to have you do these repair jobs. And, dude, it's much better to be getting money from a car wash.
It gives them somebody they can refer to because they probably don't have somebody.
Yeah, and especially if you have, a sacrificial lamb, so to speak, a car that you can take to go to that car wash and just run it through. And talk to them, go, hey, what's going on? I just stopping by. And they're like, oh, man. Because they're going to look at your car as it goes through and go, God dang, that thing looks clean. Because you're taking care of it.
That looks better than
yes,
other
it's
cars.
going to scratch the snot out of it, and it's going to come back out the other way, and you're not going to be all that happy.
You know how to fix it.
But you know how to fix it. And if you can do that, and you can go, wow, it didn't do too bad. Or you have a coating that you need to test and make sure, that's something big.
Yeah.
Jeff has been using the car wash, Epic Wash here locally, because of the fact that we sell towels to them. They use our towels at the end of the wash that folks can use when they have the vacuums and stuff. So they gave Jeff and your mom a free pass to use them.
They figured out our towels do the job.
And so Jeff asked, he's like, I'd really love to go do that. I'd love to run it through. Well, we put Pro 120 on, and it was awesome for us because we get to see it and come back and go, we washed it. You did your Rinseless on it.
Yeah.
Clear coat looks great.
Yeah.
No issues on it. So I thought of this in the shower the other day, and it was like
the human wash, the human tunnel wash.
Yeah, I was thinking of that. I was like, why don't we we need to stop fighting as detailers against car washes.
It's a losing battle every time. It's not worth using your energy on that aspect of it.
But you can still create maintenance wash packages. You can create car wash packages for your customers, and you can tell them. Like I know Anthony, if he details someone's car and he finds out that they're going to use a car wash, you can tell them, hey, just so you know, you're running through a car, it's going to scratch it up. Maybe don't do that. I can teach you how to do it. I had a lot of customers that I would teach them how to wash their own car, but two things happened. They either signed up for maintenance washes with me or they bought products from me to wash it themselves, and then they never did it.
Yeah. Which, I mean, they paid you. It's on them to use it.
No one ever really was like, oh, I'm going to start doing this now. Like,
you're not going to handhold after that. No, that's their job.
But they're also the people that don't notice. They're the people that are like, I keep my car clean. I run it through the car wash every week.
Well, you keep it clean, but you don't keep it free of
Anthony,
defects.
What do you think?
You're hands-on only.
I don't know, man. Like
You're too crazy to let it go through a wash voluntarily.
I would never, which also makes me sad because my children never get to experience.
You could take the silver truck through.
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt anything.
Take the Ram through. Yeah, it's not going to hurt anything.
No, I just don't want to.
Be one of those terrible people who takes like the super filthy truck bed and goes through it and it gets blasted and shoots out everywhere.
Yeah, gets on everybody else's
guy. Yeah, it gets on everybody else's car.
No, I don't know. I've tried to, I've tried to get people to stop using tunnel washes. I've tried to tell friends, hey man, I just detailed your car, or I've just done this, or I've just polished this out, or I've showed you all the right products to use. You don't have to do that anymore. They still do it. And it's like a drug.
Rather than telling them
you tell them to quit and they go, I can't. And they're like,
rather
why?
than telling them
addicting.
no,
and I'm like, why? Because I like to have it clean, but I don't want to have to do the work. And I go, I get it.
But instead of telling them no, all you can do is just give them a warning about what will happen if they go through there.
I know, but
when it does happen, they're not surprised. They understand and they remember who gave them the warning. They go,
so what's going to happen? I'll just get little micro scratches in my paint. And I go, yeah. And they go, okay, so couldn't you just fix it again?
Congrats, you got another job.
I guess, right?
I mean, if somebody is like put off by the aspect of like, you have a capitalistic enterprise, you're like, well, I created more work for me. I guess I have another job on the books.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to always
They
have
made
work
the
because
decision to go through there, and they trust you to fix it.
100%.
You gave them a warning.
It's just the level.
You've done your part.
It's the level of purity that you want your vehicle to have, right? It's if you want yours just to be clean, a car wash will get your car clean.
Shiny scratches.
If you want your car to be swirl-free, spotless, you want it to be very shiny, very glossy, then you need to get your car detailed and you need to avoid those car washes. I don't know.
No, you've done your piece.
Anyway, Franco says, Gorilla Jeebus, you're coding. I read your last chat. Wrong, my bad. And then we have Grant Hawtrey says, Day 347. Tony's Take and Bake personal pizza, goose jerky, and spy balloon rides. Now that spring is on its way, Tony has decided to get into spy balloon rides by using all of my family's clothes and what's it say? Embedding as balloon material. Please like and share it all and sub to all to your social media.
Dark.
So
great.
Funny, dude.
So good, man, as always.
Hilarious.
So fun.
It's just I have like all these New Zealand, it's New Zealand, right?
It is.
We've gone back and forth so much with this.
Yeah, you make fun of me for like conflating the two, but the reality is you guys have conflated them many more
years
times.
ago at this point.
Darren says, Harry Housewife, one day I'll get there for TRC. I'm like, get me over there and I'll do Dane's housework.
Oh, you don't have to.
And just clock that T-shirt Levi has on. Love it. So this is the Detailer's Domain shirt. From our friends at Detailer's Domain. You guys can pick up one of these on their website, detailersdomain.com. We are going to be going to visit Phil and a lot of guys in the East Coast.
Yes,
New Jersey, New York, Connecticut.
We don't have
happening last week of May.
Yeah. Oh, it is happening last week of May. Okay.
That's where we're going.
We're going to have a busy spring.
We're going to have a busy spring. Adam Hancock saying, I recently got Koch FCL acid wheel cleaner. Do you have any experience with FCL? And what dilution would you recommend for baked on brake dust? When would you choose acid cleaner over Brake Buster? I can't believe you already got it, Adam. I haven't used it yet.
There you go.
We have a 5-liter jug here.
We do.
We haven't cracked it open. Sorry. Tyler, going to have to catch up later, but I have a question. I have Rupes Fine Compound, Uno Advanced, and Perfect Finish. What would be the recommendation steps and pads to use on a car with moderate scratches? Anthony and I really like the wools.
Yeah.
So whether it's the blue wool or the yellow wool, I think if you use that with Uno Advanced, you'd actually be surprised removing that on the car. Just using Uno Advanced and like maybe the yellow wool, you'd probably get really good results. The other one you could use is the yellow foam or the blue foam on Uno Advanced. I think you'd get a lot. And if you have more, then I probably jump up to the fine compound. But I think Uno Advanced on its own is pretty sweet.
Yeah. Kimberly MC says, greetings. Got my TRC swag today. Is it best to do an Uno Advanced polish on the coated car now or once the weather finally breaks?
Kimberly, if you're going to put it on a coated car, I recommend a very soft foam pad because you don't want to burn through or break through the coating. Uno Advanced works great for coating like little maintenance polishing where maybe you have a spot that's like starting to, you need to fix a section. We noticed it on our Subaru. We had some spots that were starting to come back and we didn't want to damage the CSU. So we used a white foam Rupes pad along with Advanced to get it to clear some of that gassing out, which looked really nice. Honestly, on a coated car, I don't think you need to use it right now. I think you just, if you do, use a soft foam pad with it. Very
use it
light.
As needed. Don't just go do it for fun.
Yeah.
Simon Birch says, finally managed to snag a few ultra black sponges before they went out of stock here in the EU.
Nice.
7 incoming.
Whoa,
Can't wait
busy
to
guy.
see what the fuss is about.
Heck yeah, dude.
Jeez.
Enjoy them.
Heck yeah.
Oscar Joseph saying, I recently opened a new detail supply store in my area.
Hey.
And we're the only ones. We are the only detail Shipley
Store, maybe?
Oscar?
It just kind of cuts off.
I don't know what that means.
That's awesome. Well,
We're
congrats.
gonna roll with it.
Greetings, folks, says Larry Singleton.
Here, he puts
there we
a
go.
fixed up
Okay.
comment. There you go.
Recently opened a detail supply store, and we're the only store in our area for detailers. Closest thing is 2.5 hours away. Any advice for a new shop owner? Advice appreciated. Short of having clinics, host events, that's
Car
spring's
shows.
coming.
Little cars and
Start
coffee type
hosting some
things.
Saturday morning wash parties or something, and where you're just like, hey, well, come on over. We'll teach you how to wash cars and build some kits.
Have your storefront open while you do that so people can check it out.
Another big thing that we've found some great success with is our local Porsche club.
Yes.
Get in touch with them and get involved with them and they do Saturday tech talks and they try to plan them for the year for their clients. And if you want to teach them how to wash their cars and sell products, they will come and they will spend time there and they will learn and they will always come back. So
And
they're very good. Out of most car clubs, I will say the Porsche Car Club is a great club.
That's what I was going to point out
Nationally.
is your mileage may vary depending on the car groups in your particular area, but what we found is that the Porsche Club here locally has been the best amongst the other car groups we've interacted with in terms of actually making it a thing. They make a point to come out. They're reliable. It's been good communication.
Well, you got to think about it. The Porsche Club is a older age of folks.
It's pretty established.
They have a little more money.
Yep.
And they actually want to learn about the science of their vehicle.
But that's the part I really
Right?
wanted to stress was that last bit.
That style,
more so than other
they know
groups
it.
we've
Where,
found.
say, like a Corvette club.
They just want it to look good.
Corvette club, they're like, okay, looks pretty good. Yeah, I can do this.
But they're still going to go back to the California Duster at the
or
end
they're
of the day.
or they're just not. They're going to be like, yeah, okay, cool. Or you get a hot rod club a car club, like an old hot rod club. You've got old guys with 30 grand in paint and 100,000 in a car.
Yeah.
But they're old gearheads, and they're like, I can do this myself.
That's fine.
I've been washing cars since I was a kid.
We're painting
Porsche
with
folks are
broad
going,
strokes here, but it's true in our particular scenario.
Yeah.
This is what we found to be true.
So that's the advice. Larry saying, greetings, folks.
Larry, level best.
Have you fellas tested KCXT for tar removal? How much bite are you giving up versus Ulex? Ulex is much stronger than T. Tell you that.
Okay.
Glossy Bear had some terrible water spotting to remove on some chrome running boards. Can you wet sand a chrome finish? Glossy, no. You need to use Clarity Cream and some Quad Aught steel wool.
Yeah,
It'll come out.
Yeah.
Little Details is located in Des Moines, Iowa. About 4 to 5 inches of snow since 3 a.m.
Interesting.
It's a lot of snow, bud.
Yeah.
Gorilla Jeebus, appreciate your help, guys. By the way, your Valentine's reels were amazing. I'm glad you got to watch them.
Glad you saw them.
Anthony?
Any advice on removing tape residue? I guess what kind of where's the tape? Where's the residue at? Is it on plastics? Is it on paint? Is it on glass? Yeah, it just kind of depends. Let me know what the residue is on.
There's adhesive remover products, but depending on what it's on, you don't want to use certain ones because they can damage like underlying plastics and things like that.
Yeah.
Try a little isopropyl alcohol though. I mean, if you don't tell me what it was on,
go easy first. Yeah, with alcohol, you're pretty safe.
See what happens there.
Man, 60 degrees in Marlboro, Mass today.
Oh man, that sounds pretty nice. Jealous.
We're in the 30s.
Very Elvis-inspired law to do, that is. Thanks,
probably. Yeah, it's not. Trust me, I'm not saying anything deeper than that, but it is a very Elvis-inspired do. Jeff C says, I think it's time to show people how to wash a really dirty vehicle with a pressure washer and a rinseless. Some people just need to see it to understand.
That's the hardest part. That we've done that.
Well, we've done that before in the past, Jeff. And the hardest part with that is that we would do that, and they would go, "Well, if you already have the pressure washer, then why wouldn't you just foam the car and just wash it like normal?"
They have their arguments built in. It's always a but still. Yeah, that's the problem. Is you're up against the but still.
When we sell rinseless, we basically tell people to replace your soap.
Yes.
Instead of using soap, you're going to use rinseless. That's all.
Yeah.
You can't. You don't have to.
They kind of get it then. Then they kind of get it. But
Dan Pfeiffer says, "Good afternoon," and a big, easy word up from New Orleans, Louisiana.
Nolans.
Wait, what is he doing there?
He's getting ready for.
Happy Friday Eve, TRC gang. Lots of great content lately. Keep it up. Is Mardi Gras actually coming up?
Pretty soon, I think.
When?
Should I check?
I think it's another couple weeks, right?
Fat Tuesday, etc.
Maybe I'm wrong. Neil White says, "Hey TRC, glad I don't have a pompadour hairstyle."
What's wrong with the pomp?
There's nothing wrong with pompadour hairstyles. Hope you're all doing well. What's going on, Neil White?
Dang.
And then Larry Singleton says, Will Breitner is pH level 2. FYI, has just tested it this week. Yeah, it should be pretty low.
I don't think I can post grants.
Don't post grants.
Yikes.
Then, are any of you going to see Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey?
Oh, I've seen the trailer for that. It's what happens when you end up in the public domain.
Would you see it, Dane?
Probably just for like the stupid laughs.
Yeah.
It might not even be good at that though. You never know.
I can't believe that's
movies.
Public domain.
Yeah, it's been around a long period of time.
That anybody can just take that and run with it.
Yeah, but that's why like Disney has fought so hard for so long to keep like Mickey out of the public domain and all that stuff. They created whole new laws just by how much they lobby for that stuff.
Yeah, crazy.
So yeah, pretty much single-handedly.
So Mardi Gras is on Tuesday.
No way. So it's coming up really fast.
Yep.
What should we do? You want to get ourselves a Southern Boil going?
We could, yeah. As long as there's no seafood in
You want
there.
any alligator?
No.
Crocodile?
Right. Yeah.
And on the public domain comment also, remember there were like 3 Pinocchio movies that came out in the last year and a half.
That is true.
Yes, because also public domain. It's not a Disney property. It's just they repurposed a lot of old fairy tales for kids. So
there you go.
Yeah, made them a little less scary and put some good animation on it.
Phil Van Boeven. It was a warmer day and decided to perform a full wash with G-Wash and soap. It felt weird as I almost always wash with O&R after a pre-wash. Although G-Wash is a great soap, Car is CSL exo-coated. Nice. Little details. What are your thoughts on Dr. Beasley's NSPs as a standalone 1-year coating for paint correction polishing and as a primer for other ceramic-based coatings? NSP stands for something.
I haven't used it.
We haven't used it. We're going to have some of the guys from Dr. Beasley's here in May, first week of May. And so
we can talk to them about it.
Yeah, during Cinco de Mayo. Yeah. So we can talk to them about it then. Simon Bach. My coworkers keep saying it's much safer to use a car wash. Yeah, if you use a broom brush to clean your car, it annoys me so much. Yeah, so it's just people. It's just how they do it.
They're ignorant.
Yeah,
it's okay, though.
You're
not going to make up everybody's mind. Some people just simply don't want to be told that, and you're not going to convince them otherwise.
Glenn says that Absolute's been great for me. Awesome, man.
Nice.
Ron says, brain broken people, they have 3 brain cells. 2 are doing CPR, and the other one is telling them they're doing it wrong.
We're back pretty far.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dane would complain about being hung with a new rope. The Ant-Man series is like me seeing the nicest guy in person.
Oh
man.
Kirby saying, afternoon TRC trio, late but here to enjoy and learn. Thank you, Kirby.
Thank you, Kirby.
We broke open that the honey. My kids have been enjoying it, so thank you. Larry Singleton, if people doing car detailing in 20 to 40 years say Rinseless is safe, then no one can logically argue with it. Here's the crazy thing, Larry. Rinseless washing has been around for 17 years.
It's quite a while.
ONR has been available for 17 years. It's been on the market. That's like... Dude,
it worked back then,
We're
too.
almost 20 years now. So, Grand Hotry ONR 1-to-1 works great.
Yep.
ONR 1-to-1 on what?
I was going to say, on what, though? Because 256 to 1.
I've
So
never used
thick.
ONR
So
1-to-1 on
thick.
anything. I don't know what the heck he's
I was
talking
like,
about.
I was thinking of not ONR.
No,
My
you
brain
never
just went,
use
yep, and I
ONR
nod my head.
1-to-1.
I'm like, wait a sec.
No.
256 to 1 is what you should always be using with ONR. Unless you're
stuff.
doing like clay
1-to-1.
dilution.
Good God, I can't believe
That is some
I
blue-looking
can't believe
water.
We almost saw that and just said nod.
I just like,
nodded.
I was making it go just for John saying, Good Friday Eve.
Crafty.
I have Diamond Body 36, which I installed last September on my Silverado. Now that winter's almost over, I would like to top it off with Quick Body this spring. How shall? G. David.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I'm not sure what the
Oh, no.
German World War II really its history, and no one ever says anything about Dane's Mussolini lunchbox matching leather beret.
Oh, my God.
Oh, gee. John Mosher
gee.
says, prep the body to install Quick Body. John, you don't need to do that. Just wash the truck, and then you can spray Diamond Quick Body over everything if you want.
The prep is for the coating.
Yeah. If you don't have any product on there, you need to, then yes. If it was like naked paint, you didn't have the coating on, then you could use Diamond Body Prep first, but you don't have to. Jason M says, hey fellas, can you compare Diamond wheels to C5? Which would be better for daily driver in northern climate? If I get Diamond wheels, do I need body prep or could I use IPA Carpro Racer panel? No, you need to use Diamond Body Prep for Diamond wheels. Chemically, they work hand in hand. The difference in the two, I will tell you that Diamond Wheels has a higher temperature rating than C5.
Mm-hmm.
Like it'll run at a hotter temperature. So Grand Hotry, it will.
They're pretty close though.
C5.
C5.
C5's like 600, I think.
Celsius though.
Yeah, and Diamond Wheels is like 1200 Celsius.
That's crazy
They're pretty
high.
close. I remember they're pretty close.
It's almost double.
That's really high.
I don't know,
Temperature
Levi.
rating.
Somebody needs to look that up.
Anyway,
Man.
Grand Hotry, Dane is like Jeremy Clarkson. If he's selling, you're buying.
I'm going to choose to believe that's a compliment. The main thing is I'm like the most transparent seller ever. You ask me a question, I'm going to give you like the real. So I'm the person I wish I could buy from. I'll put it that way.
Yep.
All right.
Wouldn't if Dane was buying from himself, they wouldn't even come up with
It
a
would
deal.
never.
They would
never. They would just.
I would just
about
talk to him and be like, wow, you got really good insights about cars. This is
so do
great.
you. This is great.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you too. Oh, compliments all around.
We should hang out sometime.
Yeah,
Sure.
cool.
I have a Twitch
All right.
stream. I have a Twitch stream. We should tag team streams.
Oh,
Yeah.
You want to cross
sub for
streams?
sub? Okay.
Scrubbers versus crosshatchers. 1 bucket versus 2 bucket. Rinseless versus soap. TLC is still my most used product over other brands. There you go. Thanks, man.
Chelsea last cut.
Yeah. Antoine Armstrong. Good afternoon, gentlemen from Gray Sky, Cleveland, Ohio. Do you think I can put a Rupes Pure on top of Rupes Advanced, or is that overkill? No need to do that. Just do the Advanced. You'll be fine. G. Davis says, my financial advisor received a sternly worded fax from Alex Duar today. He's threatening to expose Dane's laundering of the super chat money to pay for his Italian yacht-inspired vasectomy.
Oh, my
reversal.
God. What the hell? Wow. Wow, we're not even in the second half yet, you guys. Holy. Raphael clarifies clear that's
Combination
oxidized.
of words.
Man.
So good.
I'm just
so good.
catching all the strays.
Man, I'm just telling you, I'm glad to have G. Davis back in the house.
It is.
And then Glenn asking anything set yet for your East Coast adventure. So last week of May, we are headed to New Jersey. We're going to fly into Newark. We're going to go stay at the Nyack Hotel. We're going to go visit Detailed Image. We're going to go visit, so we'll go one day to visit Detailed Image. We'll visit the next day. We'll go to Detailer's Domain. The next day we'll go to Long Island Detail Supply. And then the final day, on that Saturday, we will be in Bedford Hills at Haggerty's Garage and Social.
Yes, that's going to be cool.
And then we'll fly home on Sunday. So that's the game plan. We don't have all the stuff fully worked out, but that's the plan. So
we really want you guys to come see us at the Haggerty thing, though. That would be super cool.
Haggerty or Friday at on that Friday at Long Island Detail Supply. We'll be doing an open house there as well. But Detailed Image is going to be a kind of a visit and tour. Detailer's Domain will be a visit and tour, and then we're going to do the rest there.
Yeah.
So he's saying Buck Naked Auto Repair and Car Detailing coming to a city near you.
Ooh.
I mean, that's the quality touch.
Don't really come out
It's like
cold
Boat,
weather,
it's
though.
like Boat and Zone when they've got their microfiber outfits on.
Yeah.
They got it
Jumpers.
all figured out.
Larry Singleton, I saw a detailer use a damp towel with rinseless soap on it to remove polish and compound residue. Thoughts? That's how I do it.
Yeah.
I literally keep a towel soaked in O&R. Anthony and I will do that when we're heavily working on a vehicle, and we'll literally wring that stuff out, wring it out, and then use a wet or a damp towel to wipe the surface because it adds lubrication.
And it cuts a little
and
better.
it cuts a little better. It makes it it allows it to glide over the surface, especially when you get into really sticky
And there's really
polishes.
there's no negative to it
No.
at all.
But the
Like,
reason...
Yeah,
the
it doesn't
reason you
hurt
see
anything.
people, because I get people asking, at least used to ask in the comments a lot about, well, why would I get the blue O&R when I can get the green one that has the wax in it? It's like for purposes like that, you can't use the wax one for those purposes because wax gets in the way.
Yeah.
So that's why you want to have the blue one, is you can use it and not have anything
But the
getting
green
in the
one
way
works
of your
great on
next thing you're
interiors.
going to do.
Here we go. We got Ron that says, I use Guion Can Coat Evo on a single stage Toyota Tacoma. I detail twice a year and the coating on it's holding up nicely. After she washed it, she uses Guion wet coat and before blowing it dry. Cool.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Joey says, oh, God, I feel like a creep now because I've never actually used that pickup line. Lol. No,
It's okay.
those-
Apparently it worked.
Dude, they loved it. They were dying.
Yeah, we told the girls that you were 6'5".
And we
were
told them
like,
you were a real
They
Jack
suddenly would
Reacher.
like excuse
and
anything.
And they were
They were-
like, so he's like a Jack Reacher size
Oh, no.
guy. And we're like, technically he's the closest Jack Reacher size guy that we know of.
Right.
You know,
Next to
and
Thomas.
Next to Thomas. But, you know.
Don't worry, Joey. Hopefully this just makes you feel more awkward.
Yeah. So, Joey, if you ever come up to here, we'll introduce you to all the girls.
Oh,
Yep.
no.
They'll probably be really excited to meet
Yeah.
you.
Danny saying, enjoy the live show. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Danny.
Thank
we
you,
appreciate
Danny.
it. Kirby saying, Levi, can you give examples of car wash damage that a detailer can easily restore? Couple things. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Kirby says the next one, FYI, going to the Southwest Car Wash Show next week for the IDA booth. So good to give some examples. All right, so Kirby, you will see so many machines there. You will feel so many brushes. I don't have to tell you what you're going to feel and see when you're at the show. You're gonna notice it, and you're gonna be able to go up and touch that stuff, and you're gonna go,
Oh, no.
oh. The other thing,
Wow.
there was a company at the car wash show that literally had a new Tesla, black Tesla, pulled into a wash. They turned the brushes on, ran the brushes dry all day on the front of that car to show that they didn't damage the finish.
Yeah.
And how they do.
Every evening when the show floor closed and they're like, show is over and people left, they would be shutting down their booth. And what they would do is they would back the car up. A detailer would show up and he'd start polishing the front end again so that the next morning they could pull it back in and it could go again and it wouldn't scratch the snot out of it. There was a company.
Having no conscience.
There was a company that Jeff and I saw that literally made brushes that spin out of cyclone material or what appeared to be cyclone material. And we were like, whoa.
That would be cool.
We walked up and touched it. Nope.
Not cyclone material.
Not cyclone material. More like loofah.
Oh.
Like when you walked up to, you're like, whoa, that
like
looks
a sea sponge. Kind
it looks like a bunch of cyclone mitts hanging around. Like, wow, that's pretty cool. So we walk up to go look at it. As soon as we touch it, it's like, oh, these are all like loofahs and sponges.
Why are they always
this way?
so scratchy?
Yeah, and it was one of those where you were like, it doesn't feel nice at all. That doesn't feel safe at all.
A floppy mop would be way better.
Basically what it is a lot of side scratches. That's the biggest thing that you're going to be doing repairs on. Is the other thing is, like, I had a friend who had a brand new black pickup. He was going to take it to get, it was going to get coated. He called me and said, hey, should I run my truck through the car wash? Because it's brand new and it's really bothering me.
Yeah.
It's dirty. I want to get it clean. And I said, please don't. Like, the guy who's going to be installing your coating well, thank you. Do not do that. And I knew who it was that was installing the coating. I was like, please, 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 please don't. He took it through there anyway. Mm-hmm. Absolutely tore the snot out of that brand new black truck because it was a day like last weekend when it was like super nice out. Yeah. There was a thaw. Everybody and their dog went to the car wash to get it cleaned, and 350, 400 cars were passed through, and he got behind a guy with a super muddy truck, and that muddy truck went through, and they bumpered his truck right behind it.
So stuff
pushed
got
it through
caught in the
after,
brushes.
didn't have time to rinse it all off. It messed it up. The dirt and rocks got into it. That's the kind of stuff, Kirby. And I think we need to go to a break.
I was about to say, I was purposely stopping the comments for a moment because, guys, we got a little break coming up here, but don't go too far. Just grab some snacks, some drinks, whatever, and join us in just a few minutes while we carry on in the second half.
We need some more soda.
Go ahead, get dirty. P&S Off-Road.
Amazing. Dane, I didn't know you could do any of that stuff.
Neither did I.
Wow.
Well, now that you're an actual bartender,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe whip us up some extra
Oh,
cocktails.
yeah.
I mean-
Dane, do it.
I mean, it's my first day, but let me see what I can whip up.
Nice. Oh.
What?
Jeez, Dane.
What?
Oh, my God.
is pretty amazing. Looking for feedback. Let me know what you think.
Oh my God. Stuff smells amazing.
Good, all right.
Well, Levi, Dane, cheers, man.
Cheers. Nice.
Bottoms up.
Cheers. Thanks, Dane. Oh my God. God, why are you spitting my drink up? I worked hard on that. What is in it? Is that polymers?
My mouth is encapsulating.
Why would you even know what polymers taste like?
Tastes like chemicals. Did you feed us chemicals?
What did you put in this? I made you a nice drink. Oh. These are supposed to be nice. Oh, guys, that's my car.
What?
You hit my car. God, guys, if you didn't want the drinks, you could have just given them back to me or something.
Dane.
Are you seeing that shine over there? On the car.
Oh my God. Dane, what did you put in that stuff?
What, in your drinks?
Yeah.
Some water and some Absolute.
Absolute vodka?
No? PNS Double Black Absolute Rinseless. Wow. Wait a minute. Are you trying to poison us?
Dane, did you just make us drink rinseless wash?
No, definitely didn't do that.
Absolute Rinseless Wash is not for oral or suppository consumption.
Looks pretty good.
It does, however, leave a hell of a clean and smooth surface on your vehicle.
Wow.
PNS Absolute Rinseless Wash. Mix responsibly.
Is that something? I mean, it's pretty good. I'm kind of enjoying it. I'm kind of liking this.
Yeah.
So just don't drink it.
No.
Yeah, let's make sure we don't drink it for the future. But put it on cars. Yeah, it's good. It's for cars. Put it on a car. Okay. Not inside you.
Hello, and welcome back to Q&A Thursday, here where we are just arriving in the second half of this program. So, if you're new here, just know it gets a little wacky sometimes here in the second half, but we still answer your questions.
Yeah,
so
we'll try.
Don't hold back. If you got questions, if you got comments, throw them our way. We'll do our best to answer with the knowledge that we have.
There you go.
All right. So,
Levi,
anything before we get
You
in?
think that maybe you should switch to water?
Consider that, maybe? What I got.
This has
here.
water
That's
in
your
it.
third
This
Pepsi
is
right there.
Made with water. It's one of the main
Third
ingredients.
Pepsi within literally
It's
1
the
hour.
first ingredient right here.
I mean, we've been a little
Carbonated water.
worried about him.
It's more of the aspartame.
Oh.
Doesn't do anything. Dude, I've been drinking Diet Pepsi since I was like 3.
Drinking Diet Pepsi as a resident of
I was
Treasure
going
Valley
to say,
for over
as long as you've been
897
employed.
years.
Longer than the
Yeah.
brand has been in existence.
I'll have some water later today. It'll be all right.
All right,
Yeah.
a cup or two.
Oh,
Franco says, I use the laser washes touchless as a coating stripper for when I want to use a new wax. I still strip wash at the house, but the laser helps a lot. Interesting.
Laser washes.
Well, it's because it's like a touchless car wash. So he's
Yeah.
using the chemicals in the car wash
Yeah.
to be able to strip all that.
But I mean, I've gone through with the coating on the Jag. and
well,
touchless
he's talking
car
about
washes.
as
not a laser one.
He's
but-
saying for a new wax. It'll strip
for
wax and sealant.
I was going to say, the coating held up just fine. Multiple washings, no problem. But yeah, it just depends on what you got on
Oh, we have Darren says, I won't tunnel wash a car. My son is desperate for me to go through one. May need to borrow my parents' car.
Yeah, no, my kids love going through the car wash. That's like their favorite thing.
I loved it as a kid too, honestly, and that's where I go. I feel so sorry for my daughter.
They'll joke that you ran
She'll
over
never-
a unicorn, you know?
She'll never get to witness what that's like. Maybe in other friends' vehicles.
Witness the slickness. Like I said, you could take her in the truck. It's not going to hurt the truck any.
Yeah.
Levi, that truck is mint. It's a 2001 Dodge Ram 1500,
Kind of mint,
5.2
man.
318 Magnum.
All we got to
barely
do
has
is
all
we need
its
to get
paint.
that. We need to get that sucker vinyl wrapped so that you can start going through the car
When's
wash.
that going to happen?
We'll see.
You guys got that thing.
My guy Kirby saying once a month tunnel wash is okay. Not ideal, but way cheaper and quicker. Frequent use will mar the paint. Look at the rental car company cars. Yeah, rental cars.
They're doing it like daily.
They do it daily. I've had customers. I had a guy who owned a car wash here and would use his car to test to make sure that all the tolerances were right and that it was washing what it needed to wash. Or he'd change a jet that wasn't working, so he'd run it through and just watch it. He'd use his car. And he actually brought it down to us and said, I screwed this thing up pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's been washed probably 700 times in the last year.
Woo!
for my car wash, and he goes, so I need you guys to buff it out because I got to return it. It's a lease.
Oh,
and he had a 1-year lease on this Honda Accord. And we buffed out a section, and he was like, perfect. He loved it. He was stoked. But we checked the paint. Had a little paint thickness gauge to check to make sure it was
left?
totally fine.
Wow.
It was just, it looked like the whole car had been washed with a Brillo pad.
Yeah, makes
That's
sense.
all. So
This black car looks gray. I wonder why.
yeah, that was it. Franco, lol, detailers and doctors. Don't use a tunnel wash. Don't put your mouth on water fountain spigots. There you go.
Yes. On to page 2. JD.
Okay, got some salt on my truck. It's been too cold for me to do a wash at home. Rinseless would be my go-to, but it needs a pre-rinse and a local pay and spray is closed. Should I take it through the car wash? JD, that's on you, man.
Yeah.
We're not going to tell you yay or nay.
We're not going to be responsible for the decisions you make, but
don't do
same
it.
time, you got a little angel on your shoulder saying, don't do it.
Do it
little
yourself.
devil on
Get
your
it.
shoulder
Do it.
saying,
Do
do
it.
it.
I want to see
And
it.
then
You'll regret it. You won't be able to sleep at night.
You won't. You can fix it.
Something will get scratched.
whatever damage you do, it can probably be fixed
Probably.
with a little bit of
Maybe.
handiness
We
and
don't
a
really know,
polisher.
though.
Yep.
It's a risk that you're willing to take, right?
That's
Just
right.
like letting
Yeah.
bird droppings sit on your vehicle,
That's
right?
right, like
Yeah.
you did.
It's a risk
You
you're
didn't know.
willing to take.
Don't let
I
those
know.
sit.
G. Davis says, I thought of this in the shower. It's Luke Berge addressing the 40th anniversary celebration of Amish Broadway. Ryan Baumgart, I usually can't make it to a live show, but I want to say thank you for all the information you guys dished out. I can't believe it's free. Much appreciated.
Thank
You're
you,
welcome,
Ryan,
man. We
thank you for
appreciate it.
taking advantage of.
And then JD says, minor scratches might be better than rust from the salt, but I don't know.
I'm
Dude,
inclined to
look,
agree. If you have a lot of
once
salt,
is
where
not
you're
going to
at.
hurt you.
Yeah.
3 times in a winter
they
is
say
not
the
going
same
to
things
hurt
about
you.
like methamphetamine, though, right? Once is not going to hurt you. 3 or 4
But if
times
you get
gets
addicted,
you
you're going to
hooked.
pick up those
Yeah,
other ones very quickly. It's bad for
Yeah.
all
But hey,
kinds of reasons.
It's going to be more fun. You're going to enjoy your life.
Oh my God.
What, we're doing car washes still, or what
Yes.
are we talking about?
Ron, I have a client with a
I'm
black
only guns
Audi
now.
Q5 who took advantage of a free car wash at a newly rebranded tunnel wash. He called me and said, no problem, I'll just have to charge you more to correct it. Yeah,
That's the move.
you got to remember, it's also about what people are willing to handle. And I, like my buddy Wayne, loves the car wash. Loves the car wash more than anything. He says there's nothing better than pulling out of the car wash on a Friday evening and listening to some music and driving through downtown Boise.
Yeah.
Right? That's his jam. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Right?
Nobody cares though.
He does.
I know, but
he
like,
feels good. His car's clean.
I know, but like, what are you just gonna do? Cruising?
Yeah.
Yeah.
car
You know,
wash?
you don't ever
But you
go
know what he
cruising
does
anymore just
he
for
has
fun?
that truck taken through his service trucks. He
Yeah.
takes his service trucks, has the front desk folks
Yeah.
do that. All right, why don't you go run the car through the car wash? Because he wants his company trucks to look nice and washed. And what does he do? Every year, I come through and I detail them, polish them, and coat them.
Yeah.
But to him, he's far above all the other locations of
Yeah.
Les Schwab's because they don't ever wash their service trucks.
Right.
So their trucks are always trashed. They're always dirty looking because they don't ever wash them. And if they do, the guys are out in the back of the shop with a bucket of Dawn dishwashing detergent and
Yeah.
a hose, and they're just washing with a couple
They're not
handfuls
going to
of
spend any more money. to
towels
do it
that they
right.
found laying around. And so they don't do it right anyway. And then they go, oh, man, Wayne's trucks are always so nice. They get to be in the car show, the Roadster show. They get to go to the
It's
football
almost like
games.
he tries and he pays attention.
He tries, but he also understands. He goes, I know that car wash is going to scratch the snot out of the truck, so every year I need you to polish it up. And he used to have me coat it just so that every year it looked nice, but it looked nice for the business.
Yes.
The
And
trucks would look good out front.
My
So-
other comment, looking at Ron's thing here, is saying at a newly rebranded, not like new tunnel wash, but a newly rebranded. I
Well, that's
wonder what
like-
happened that was so bad they had to rebrand.
No, I just did that. I ran through the metro over here on State across from the
Right, like
from
if another company
St.
buys them
Mary's.
out, like
it
a
was an old
conglomerate
like
comes
new,
in, whatever.
They completely rebuilt it. It's a fully brand new car wash. They gutted the whole thing and built a whole new one.
You know
I
what
ran it
I'm
through.
really getting
Didn't do too
at.
bad of a job. I'll tell you that.
But I'm saying like there's like lawn care businesses or house like handyman businesses or like other business where they'll constantly rebrand once they start getting enough bad reviews. They're like, oh, and then they got to change up.
I haven't been through the new Bluebird. We should go through the Bluebird. We should all get in the truck.
In the case of these places, I'm sure they're fine. But I see rebranded, and I kind of immediately go,
Well, Dane's sitting in the back.
I'm not going to go live on Instagram.
We'll go live on Instagram with the
People
three of
will
us.
unfollow us.
The three of us screaming as we drive through the car wash. It'll be great.
I mean, it's free entertainment, people. We'll do G Davis here.
I hope Michael Jordan, the white body shop supply sales guy and bank spokesman, is available the last week of May. I sure hope so too. I had a good talk.
I hope that guy's doing all right.
I did have a talk with Glenn yesterday or the other day, and I should have asked him about Michael Jordan.
Man, whatever happened to
Demo 1000. Only checking in for a minute before I start cooking Italian soup.
There we go.
Rainy day in the deep south. Oh, and homemade bread. Rainy day in the deep south today. Oh, man,
Okay.
Demo, thank you again. We're going to be wearing all our Mardi Gras stuff on Tuesday that we've got on the other side of the table there. We got some masks, got some beads. All thanks to Demo. Yo Hurl, is there a coating that will not get water spots for a shower? And is there a rinse aid you would recommend for the same? Looking for keeping them cleaner so I don't have to squeegee daily. Also, do you recommend a ceramic for toilets? Dang, Yo Hurl, you just ceramic in all the things. I don't know. I've never been lucky enough to have a new shower in my home, if that makes sense. I've always had a 20 or 30-year-old shower, so it's just kind of ingrained.
Yeah, I remember years ago, earlier days.
How about you,
TRC.
Anthony? What are you doing in your bathroom?
Well, what I was going to say was we talked with a company who developed coatings for porcelain and things like that.
Well, they make them. You can buy them at Home Depot.
Yeah, like they existed, but they were a thing that they were actually advertising, and they were wondering if we were interested in.
What about you? You have a new construction home.
Yeah, I don't know. I know my wife thinks she grabs like a bowl of vinegar and water and she just holds it up over the thing.
Well, no, that's the shower itself.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
We're talking about the shower walls. He doesn't want to have to squeegee all the time, so he wants to help prevent the water spots from happening in the first place.
My water spots on the walls, like the actual shower enclosure, there's nothing bad there. The glass, however, does need to be scrubbed, and so for that,
your Clarity Cream and Quad Hot Steel Wool.
No, I think it's just honestly, my wife stays on that pretty good. She uses just like a Scotch Brite pad and a little bit of I think a mix of Dawn and vinegar straight up. Just sprays it on there and cleans it. Yeah. However, in my window washing days, right, we did use an acid. Abrasive. I can't remember what the heck it was called, but blue. It's like blue. It's like blue. It's like the
like Bluey.
Not like Blue.
Bluey the dog.
Chemical is blue. It comes in a white bottle. I can't remember what the heck it's called off the top of my head. I let Dane borrow it once, and you just put that on a little Scotch Brite pad. Go over all the glass, removes water spots.
It was good stuff.
Nice. Yeah. Well, there you go.
Good stuff.
So a blue bottle of stuff.
Yeah. It's a window cleaning product is what it's called. But it's a white bottle. The chemical inside is blue.
It was a very plain looking bottle.
Yeah.
But
it's funny because when I was 19, I was cleaning windows. My dad would be like, yep, you need to blue these windows. And I know exactly what he meant. Mm-hmm. Yep. Do the blue on the windows there, blue on the windows there. I'd say, cool, yep. Water spot treatment coming up.
Yep. All right. Oh, nice. Well, Daytona Wallace, I got some KCX Quick Shine in a mystery box. Used it this weekend and really liked it. Is there any protection in this? And does it play nice with coatings?
There is there's a little bit of something in there. It plays well with everything. You're looking at maybe a week protection.
Basically
nothing crazy. It's just
spray.
a quick detailer, really. But yeah, it feels really good, looks really nice, and it does play well with pretty much all coatings. Use it. Don't overly saturate a surface because it will start to build up. So maybe just a couple sprays per panel. Yeah. We have Kieran. Hey guys, I ordered a Cyclone Ultra wash mitt and a 10X combo off of Amazon. Both had defects.
What?
The mitt had a hole and the pad had a corner with matted down fibers. Is this common?
Matted down.
So I will say the corner with matted down fibers, that is, I would say, what's pretty normal.
So that's not, that can totally be
just usually where they seal it. But as far as the
hole's weird.
The hole, yeah, it shouldn't have a hole in it for the mitt. And
so the hard part, Karen, is if you buy products on Amazon, Amazon asks you to return them to Amazon, do the return process with Amazon.
We can't do it through us.
Because of the fact that they're the ones that hold the money. Amazon has it. So that's why we tell people, like, if you order off the Rag Company's website, we can exchange something, no problem. But if you bought it on Amazon, we do ask that you return it using the Amazon channel. And if they refund you, then take that money and just come back over here to us and buy it on the website, and we'll get you taken care of on something like that. If that ever happens, though, and you buy off of our website, you just contact Josh or Rebecca in customer service, and they'll take care of you 100%. So
Oscar Joseph says, you guys are awesome. Thank you. No, thank you, Oscar. Appreciate it, man. Kieran also says, I recently applied DB36 in 70% humidity and found that the flash time became almost instant and nowhere near 10 to 15 minutes. Just an FYI for new users. Also, it worked great on the new rubber trim.
Nice. Yeah, and that's what we've been noticing is that it is a humidity cured coating. And so the higher the humidity, the faster that flash time disappears. And we've been saying that on a lot. The only thing is it doesn't say it on the box.
Yeah. So, and people take what it says
please,
on the box,
please do your research before you apply a coating. Watch as many videos as you can.
Yeah.
Larry Singleton says, here in my experience also. Okay. And then Jeff C. says, I try to fight the good Rinseless fight in the comments, but I'm about to hang it up. Some men, you just can't
They just want to watch the world burn. You just gotta let them go, man. It's hard, but... You got to do it.
Or too reacher to reach, right?
Some men reach too far.
Would you say Jack Reacher is more of a rinseless guy or a soap and water guy?
Well, he likes his coffee black.
Yeah.
No cream or sugar.
Probably
a soap He's a lot like Anthony Fisher when it comes to coffee.
Yeah.
He just goes, this is good and black. And then...
Because you got to get a job done, right?
He wants it clean, simple.
And when he's hungry,
no fuss.
He talks about the food that he eats,
and
he's excited for the calories that he's going to take in because of the energy it's going to create for the next job at hand.
He really wanted that pie, and it took forever to get him.
Well, he just wanted to try it.
Yeah.
But the point is, I think he would be just a soap and water kind of guy.
Yeah.
Because it's about doing the job. That's it. Just get it done.
Not being fancy about it. Just but the reality is, when you think about it, the just do the job is actually more of a Rinseless move.
Fun fact, Jack Reacher, not much of a car driver.
Wow.
Yeah, not really. He likes walking.
He likes walking and he likes riding in the passenger seat.
Yeah. A lot of riding in the passenger seat.
Because he's a big guy and he needs to be able to stretch out.
Well, he's so imposing and so alpha on his own. He doesn't need to prove anything to anybody on that front, so he doesn't feel like he needs to drive or show off.
He's not even alpha. He just doesn't care.
He just exists. It's like a totally detached kind of way of being.
I know, because I'm on book 14 at the moment.
There you go.
Hopefully they don't make another season.
Oh, no, they are. Season 2 is coming out based on book 11.
Fun show. Love that show.
Yeah, after the excitement of the last episode, right? Can't wait for another one.
Can't stand it.
Ridiculous saying, Dane, I missed a lot of TRC lately. Why are you selling the Jag and what do you want to replace it with? Always love that car. So he's actually selling the Jag to fund a new hobby, buying himself some Elantras and fixing them up and flipping them.
Yeah. I've just decided I'm done with Euro cars. I'm just getting myself
I like
some
Elantras
KTM
and S10s. Tell me what I need to know, brother. And
he's got a whole field back there that he's dying to park some broken down cars in.
He said he's got room for 5 or 6 at least.
It's just a salvage lot waiting to happen.
What if?
I'm going to make a new pick and pull for you guys to show up at my house like just unannounced with tools in
Dane,
hand.
Where'd you get these Civics and Elantras?
I just started collecting them, guys.
You got a couple S10s back there, Nate.
Dane, what's your favorite, most affordable car right now? Like your most common, basic,
and affordable new or affordable used?
Just affordable used car.
Like if you had another
commoner car.
Let's say
if I was looking for something sub $10,000.
I'm going to give you it's less than 10.
Less than
I would
10,
say
like
give you
that's what I'm
5
saying.
grand.
5.
Yeah.
What
you give me 5
grand.
and what I'm looking for?
Yeah. But it would need to be extremely reliable.
Okay.
That's number
It
one.
just needs to hit all Dane's check marks.
But then it can hit your check marks, but it had the reliability thing similar to like picking up the Civic or picking up an Elantra.
I'm going somewhere with this, so I want to know what's your car.
Well, I kind of feel like the Preludes are slept on. You can still get those for
But that's not what
cheap.
you want, though.
But that's not what you
That's
want.
not a you
No,
car.
but if somebody told me go buy Honda for less than $5 grand,
we're not giving you
It would be
that.
a Honda. Just whatever car you would want.
What would you buy
$5,000.
for $5 grand right now?
If I could find
Would you
one,
look for
I would
another
get
truck?
another Miata again.
Another Miata? Okay.
So what if we did What if you use that money and you got 5 used Miatas and you made them Dane spec and you sold them as new cars again?
Nobody
This would be called a
Great Dane spec.
Great Dane spec Miata, right?
Great Dane
'Cause
Miatas.
Dane likes spending money and fixing up everything
I
on everything.
really-
right?
I don't want
So
it.
he would have that entire car refreshed.
Jack
new
'em deep,
suspension
sell 'em
components,
cheap.
Only
new
to sell it and
paint,
lose money on
new
it
wrap,
again.
right? And then, right, we put a couple of features in there that are very Dane-like.
Apple CarPlay.
Rotisserie chicken spinner, right?
Yep. Apple CarPlay.
Toilet in the trunk, right?
Toilet in the trunk and a tray that attaches to the steering wheel for sauce holding.
For sauce holding, right?
Oh,
and then
man.
every car comes with a $500 Wendy's gift card. This is where we start losing a lot of money.
Wow.
And so,
I'm gonna say for real though, it's hard. Like the cars that you used to be able to find for like $1,000 or $2,000, like all the cheap cars you could find to just like do something fun and fix it up, they're like non-existent now. Most of the stuff you find doesn't even run. It's like a shelf for that price.
yeah,
Everything has just gotten horribly inflated over the last 2 years.
I've seen some stuff pop
There's
up.
options out there.
Lately.
Truth
We're
be
not-
told, though,
Prices are dropping.
your RSX is definitely a car that I was always interested in,
you.
regardless. And I'm not a front-wheel
car.
drive guy, but I like that car because it's a hatchback. It's got a decent amount of space, and it's fun to wind it out.
Should we talk to your parents about giving us money to buy cars again?
Probably won't be allowed to do that for a while.
Yeah, I don't think so. We
So to answer your
lost a lot
question,
of money
ridiculous,
in that
because you
deal.
asked, and I'll give you a serious answer.
No, you guys made money.
Yeah, I said the company lost a lot of money in that deal. We
I
made
was
money,
keeping
though.
my Jag as my forever car. That was originally the case. All the like maintenance stuff I've done, all the like replacing the rear shocks with new, very expensive adaptive units, all that stuff to match the OEM fit. Like I went through and did this car up right. And it was just because some parts are getting a little tired. It's almost 100,000 miles. I was setting it up to go another 100,000. And then my dad said, because of his, thing where he's just not driving as much as he expected to with his Jag F-Type, he was like, well, would you like my F-Type? And I'd be stupid to say no. So basically, I'm selling mine and buying his Jag. So he bought his because of how much he saw I love mine. So it's keeping it in the family, essentially.
There you go.
And that's why.
And I can't wait to inherit it in about 10 years.
Well, no,
Tanner
just wait till
McVeigh.
Dane sells it. Get it for like 20 grand.
That's true. I'll be ready to rock.
F-Type like 20K from
Dang,
who?
dude.
Dane.
Dane, he fixed it up.
Fixed it up.
He put another 20,000 into it.
If you hadn't said super reliable, although in my case it was, I would have said something about the SVX, but I'll leave it at that.
Tanner McVeigh. Sorry, the tape residue is on the side of our camper.
I'd probably use a little Ulex.
On Jelco?
Ulex,
Jelco,
maybe.
I think it's safe on Jelco.
Yeah, Ulex, white towels, please, because you don't want to lose any dye into that.
Is it
into that.
camper fiberglass, or
don't
is
know.
it like one of those kind of like
I'm
steel?
assuming it's Jelco.
cheap
But I would
steel
do
kind of
white
things?
towels. I would use Ulex, or I would use Shara,
A little bit of
or
virgin wash solution.
or worst case scenario, some virgin wash solution. But again, white towels because you might strip the paint off of that,
lacquer thinner.
which is lacquer thinner. Oscar. What's the proper way to take care of your TRC drying towel? Do we wash it after every use? You can. If you want to let it sit, just know that if you used it with any type of sealant as a drying aid, it is going to seal up a little bit and you are going to have some issues. So you want to wash it with rags to riches, pick up a bottle, and then cold water and a cold dry. So no heat, and wash it only with, I would, if you only have your drying towel, you're going to have to bite the bullet and just wash the drying towel. The other thing you can do, rags to riches in a bucket of water and let it soak overnight in there. And then you could just wring it out, rinse it out, and do it if you don't want to run it through the dish or the washing machine.
Couldn't agree more, Levi. Ridiculous says, I got some Ghost 14s for Black Friday for work from your recommendation, and they're pretty sweet.
Yes.
Do you guys like the Gore-Tex ones?
We don't have any of the Gore-Tex ones.
One of mine I got were the GTX, the Gore-Tex.
You did? Which ones were those?
Those were I think they're my glycerins, right?
No,
No,
Dane, you
those
No,
don't.
one of mine were a GTX. I remember that.
No, but I don't
not the
think
glycerins.
you
Then
got-
they were one of them, though. I have something.
Yours
that
have
has-
a full rubber jacket on them, though, Dane. They're not rubberized shoes, are they?
No.
No, not those.
I don't think so.
Dane, I don't think he got a set. Get out of here,
No,
kid. We don't want your
please.
stinky
Get
shoes.
leave.
Get the Vessies out. We don't.
plug. Why do Gore-Tex when you get Vessi?
No, we
Get
don't
outta
want
here.
the Vessies.
Take your Vessies and
Get out of here, Vessi
He was
gang.
Get outta
using
here.
super glue to glue his shoe
I
back
know,
together because
right?
it's deteriorating
He's
after
had
a
him
week.
for what, like barely?
Yeah, like 3
months.
days.
Yeah, he's had for like a
days.
month and it's already falling apart.
Wow.
It's that
Franco
high-end
says,
quality.
O&R 1-to-1 to replace KY jelly. Oh my gosh, Franco.
There you go.
Yikes.
Not recommended.
Yikes.
Kieran says, Larry, yep, it definitely threw me off. Being at max humidity, I thought I'd be closer to 10 minutes, which is the quickest they state. However, I had to buff quite hard after even a few minutes.
Yeah. Kieran, you were right at the limit.
We did not write the label instructions, so we're just doing our best to try and instruct people in the videos we do about the possibilities.
Ridiculous asking G. Davis, what was your favorite night out in Meridian?
Ooh.
And then Demo says Ridiculous Dane's Jag selling him his Jag.
There you go.
And then C5 is 1,100 degrees Fahrenheit. Diamond ProTech is 1,832 degrees Fahrenheit.
All right.
So
there was a little
700 degrees.
Bit of a difference there.
DPT, lot higher temperature.
Fortunately, we sell both.
Thank you, Larry. We appreciate it. But we have both. You can pick out and choose whichever one you want. Ron says Dane is being accused, used, and abused. That's because everybody likes him.
Aw.
And then Grant says Dane's looking like a Boise Stallone.
Ooh.
Jeff C says C5 600 degrees, Science Diamond Wheels 1,000 degrees.
Just mush mouth on it. Okay.
And then Franco Larry Singleton, that's hot, bro. That is. And then Ridiculous, any big difference for Top Star and Gumi Fix on mats? So yeah, Anthony and I used Gumi Fix this week.
Yeah.
It acts a lot like PSS.
Yep. More like
More PSS than it is like Top Star. Top Star is just a light dressing. I used Top Star this weekend on some mats, some tan.
Top Star or Gummy Fix?
Top Star.
Oh, Top Star, good.
And I just cleaned and sprayed John Francie's floor mats, which were Silverado flat rubber mats. So I cleaned them all off, and then just to give them a little color, a little darkening, I wiped them down with that. The nice thing is it's not slippery. It's not too much because I just quick spray, wet towel wipe down. But what I love about Gumi Fix, Anthony used them on his rubber mats on the 4Runner. I used them on the rubber mats that were in the Camry that are now in the Fusion. Cleaned them, washed them, scrubbed them, and then I applied it and I brushed it in on mine because I had some deep grooves. When I got them, I thought it was going to smell because I could smell a little bit of the chemical in there. I thought it was going to make the car smell, but it didn't. It completely dried, and the rubber looks and feels new. That's and it's not greasy and wet.
Okay.
Does that make sense? It's not. It's like a new mat. It's very strange. So, is that what you felt with yours?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it's designed to not leave behind any slickness, and it's designed to not be slippery, and I think that's what it was intended for, which is totally fine. But yeah, I think that those floor mats, it cleaned them up really well. I was hoping for a deeper, darker look from it.
You could have applied more.
But I probably could have applied more. But I was overall, I mean, it reminds me a lot of PSS for application. It really does. But yeah, I don't know. It's a different product. I don't know if everybody's going to need it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad thing to have in an arsenal, but it is kind of specific for its uses. So you'll have to figure out whether or not it's right for you once it becomes released to the public here in the U.S.
Sure.
G. Davis says, ridiculous. It was definitely the night the ladies of Meridian invited Dane and I to an Eyes Wide Shut inspired pool party.
I can't even pull up Ridiculous's response.
Awesome. Jeff C., I've been using Wowo's Crystal Sealant every 6 months on a custom on a couple sets of wheels, but I want to coat them with diamond wheels. How would you go about removing crystal sealant, chemical or polish? Jeff.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're going to be able to get it off, bud. Crystal sealant is strong. Very, very strong. Short of buffing them, manually cleaning them and polishing them, I don't know, dude. How would you get crystal sealant off of wheels?
No, stuff's pretty hard.
It's really that stuff is insanely durable and strong.
You're gonna have to approach it more like a coating
than crystal sealant.
It's still a
Did I put that on my lower
product.
control arms that get absolutely wasted on my Civic? It's still on there after it's been years, years.
Yeah, no, that stuff was no joke. Yeah.
Like, they still beat it's still on there. I don't know what the heck. It's
No
crazy.
joke. Really good stuff. Grant Hottree, if you're doing the car yard wash of 150 plus cars, green O&R all day. There you
Well,
go.
yeah. If you're just doing like a wash and wax simple thing, then yeah, go all day. Oh no.
If you guys return to
Oh.
Paramus in May, Dane's 4-year ban from the local Arby's will have expired. Put it in the salad bar.
Oh dear.
Grant, question: do you like to get snapped on the butt with a wet towel?
No.
A, no. Neither does your car's paint in a brush car wash.
Fair.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
And then ridiculous stains in the seats.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
JD Garage, Levi is like 12 glasses of water. Impossible. 12 Pepsis now? That's doable.
The water struggle.
tastes delicious.
Oh dear.
G. Davis, thoughts on the new Flash trailer? I'm praying it leads to a Batman 3 with Michael Keaton. I agree. I think that was that was super
Michael
cool.
Keaton is my favorite thing about that.
I
for
love
sure.
seeing the Batmobile with the car cover on it.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Harry Housewife saying, I worked in a rental company for a year back in my 20s. Their wash routine was pressure rinse, use a microfiber towel that's been left in the back of shampoo that hasn't been changed in years. Honestly, I was there a year and that water never changed. Oh, also used to dry a car with a full-on beach towel that was also never cleaned.
Yep.
That sounds about right.
Grant says, fudge, yeah, almost missed the show. Is Anthony off-roading his Evo yet?
Unfortunately, no.
Jeff. Anthony, our children may never get to experience a drive-through car wash, but they will get to experience the equality parent-child time in the driveway garage.
All right, there you go.
That is
That's
true,
true.
because
Yeah.
you've been doing stuff with Lucy out in the garage.
Yeah.
You've been having her out there. You've had her
No,
when it was
I
nice
know
out. Your wife
what's
brought her
gonna
out there, and
I
they
know
watched
what's
you
gonna
wash a car.
She's gonna say, "Hey, can you let her help you?" I say, "Yeah,
Yeah.
sure." And then she's
That's
gonna
when you
drop,
give her a spray bottle of O&R and
Yeah.
you let her just spray stuff.
spray this. Just keep spraying.
Just whatever she wants, and then
Spray
when
it.
she's done, because they don't last very long.
Distilled
kids don't.
water is what it'll do.
Yeah, distilled water and little O&R, and they'll just let her go around, and then you just walk up after and you just wipe
There you go.
everything down and go, all right, cool.
And then
That's
she'll
what I
like-
did.
She's like, "I want to wipe it down with the towel." I say, "Oh no."
She'll drop it.
I'm helping.
Yeah, well, that's why you tape it to her wrist. Yeah.
Oh, man.
A rock bounced and shattered my little passenger window next to the mirror. Oh,
Oh, the A-pillar
Dude, rest in peace, my
little
Subaru
guy.
window.
Oh, that sucks, dude.
That's
So
rough.
that on the Fusion, I was looking the other day. So the Fusion has these little quarter windows in the front. Then it's got its regular 4 windows, and it's
Yep.
got small quarter windows in the back. And I noticed they make covers, louvered covers for those
Ooh.
those side windows, and they make a full louver for the back window.
They do.
Which,
Don't
for the Fusion.
Don't put that on.
Because
But-
you're going to be that guy.
Don't
I'm gonna
put
be
that
that
on
guy.
there. Like,
I was
I've
looking-
seen those at Cars and Coffee, and it is
card is
rough.
But I was
need
looking
lube.
and I was like, huh. But here's the thing. What if they put them on the front windows for that specific reason?
Oh.
You don't see anything out of those little windows anyway. They're blocked by the mirror.
But they're not the same shape, right? It wouldn't fit the same.
No,
right?
but I'm saying why
Oh,
can't
why don't they make some?
for stuff like that? Like
Yeah,
if he had
yeah.
a cover, even if it was clear
Yeah.
or smoked,
Or kind of like
transparent,
those,
like the vent visor,
like
things.
those visors, like the rain protector
Yeah.
visor things. If they had it continue all the way down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why don't they do that for that kind of thing to help
I've
deflect
seen
rocks?
them do it where they put it on the edge of the mirror, where it creates kind of a hood effect on your mirror. But I've never seen it done for
I
those
know.
front
I'm just
windows.
saying.
Yeah.
$1 million idea right there, ladies
Somebody
and
should
gentlemen.
do it. Yeah.
Don't steal it. G. Davis, serious
Plenty of
question
people
for
out there with
Dane.
bad taste who buy.
Why not take care of that headlight issue on the Jaguar? Wouldn't that type of buyer be turned off by that dash light being on?
So here's okay. I'm gonna try not. No. He's not. He's not
man.
calling me out. This is something I agonized over whether or not to
I know,
do.
but G knows exactly.
And so
what
let
to
me
say.
let
exactly
me just
what's going on.
explain this
Exactly
in the
what to
simplest
say.
way I
I
possibly
love
can.
G just being
He
at
knows,
home.
Dane.
writing
So-
up some ideas.
So
knows.
In the
Jaguar.
shower thinking about
Okay,
it.
so a new passenger side headlight. This is the thing. The headlight I have, perfectly functional. However, it does not have the adaptive feature. The adaptive feature is something that was on the XKR model. That's what I have.
the
XKs
Fusion
were the
has
lower
that.
model. They look exactly the same, but you don't know it doesn't have the adaptive feature until you plug it in. So what happened was my original headlight on that side got some condensation inside. And so I had been thinking about potentially retrofitting those headlights, make them a darker housing, make them look cool kind of thing, because I was going to keep it forever, right? Well, I started taking it apart and I realized, well, after it gave up the moisture and stuff, I have to get a new headlight to replace that one while I play
Yeah.
around with how I'm going to paint this one. So I bought a new one. But the problem was, For $300 off a crashed car off of eBay, I found one that looked right. I put it in there. Turned out it wasn't adaptive. Thus, the little blinking light on the dash went off. So all that means is the headlights don't turn when you turn a corner, because when they're adaptive, the proper headlight, it looks exactly the same, but an adaptive unit has different electronics inside, and it will turn with the corners as you're driving. That's the only difference, but that's why that little light comes on.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can come on down to Dane's car lot. Pick up this sweet Jag today. $12.75.99.
Why don't you change your lenses?
So here is a new headlight from Jaguar is $2,800.
That's not that bad.
That's not bad.
That is a lot of money.
Yeah, but you spent that on bushings. You also bought a rear bumper for a bunch of money that you never put on. So you can afford it.
Just
sell the bumper.
I've done so many things to make this car
Sell the bumper
amazing,
to get a headlight.
And I'm just getting rolled over the coals. Basically, my point is, it was a pragmatic decision.
Are we not wrong?
The headlight is every bit functional. There's simply a light on the dash because it doesn't have the swivel feature right now. That's all it is. It functions at night exactly the same.
So why didn't you just change the lens? Why didn't you just grab the old headlight housing and just take the lens from the one that you replaced?
Because I screwed up my retrofit and I had to throw the whole thing away. Yes.
There it is.
I painted the whole thing black and it would never match the other one.
Wait, so the headlight that moves, it's adaptive. That's the one you screwed up?
Yes.
No!
Because it was already letting moisture in, so I considered it a dead dud. So I was just like, well, I'm going to take this to Travis over at Trax, and I was going to get it fixed. Yeah. But then that never ended up happening because that would have cost about $4 or $5 grand to do a retrofit like that. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. Crap. So basically, it was just a cascading thing. So now I'm at the point where the headlights and everything work perfectly, but there is that little blinking light. And to some people, most people come and looked at it,
so
didn't
you get
care.
a piece of electrical
That's not
tape
a problem.
And you stick it over the...
So you
that would be tax.
So are you willing to go down in price because of the headlight issue?
Could you lower the price?
Could you go
$2,000 more dollars.
16 grand.
16 grand for the car.
Oh, hell no. Absolutely.
Hey, but you're getting a rear bumper.
You get the rear bumper for free. Thrown in.
Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, I don't want to bore people to death, but trust me, I have my reasons, and I think about this stuff incredibly thoroughly.
We know you do.
I had to do a cost-benefit analysis.
We know you do.
And it ended up on the side of it works, it's functional, and I can talk to somebody about it rather than simply just...
So shoot Dane a message if you're interested in the Jaguar.
It is literally the only thing wrong with it.
$500 Wendy's gift card going in the pocket.
Yeah.
If you pick up the Jag. Ron Ayotte, Karen Patel, just ordered directly from TRC. Oscar, how often should we wash our TRC drying towels? Whenever you feel like it. Hopefully after every use. Grant Hotry, while Anthony's at work and his wife is sitting on the couch with a White Claw, my family is cleaning his house. Subscribe.
Yeah. It's quite nice. She enjoys the help.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Black Pyro, just did my first rinseless wash with the Wolfpack towels. Pretty impressed. Just I have to get over that suede edge is safe in my own head. It's so safe.
It is beyond safe.
Allow it to do its thing. You won't regret
Trust
it.
me, it's so safe. It's
Danny Sandoval saying that's great info regarding the rag company and Amazon.
Yes.
It's our products at Amazon, but Amazon dictates what
the return
happens.
policy on things they sell.
Yeah, we can't touch it. We're not allowed to until you do the Amazon and get your money back. So, G. Davis, Josh is also good at his job. You almost forgot his blasphemy reference, chips and salsa being a snack. And then JD Garage, I love how you're using car washes as a gateway to terrible vehicle maintenance decisions. We need a TRC commercial in the anti-drug
Like a
style, but
Dare
anti-car wash slogan. It only takes one.
It only takes one.
once, dude.
That's all it takes. Your brain broken now, too.
G. Davis says TRC should do a contest where you win a weekend with recently single Anthony to watch season 2 of Jack Reacher and She-Hulk.
It's sad. It'd be a sad weekend.
Oh, grand. G by P. And then Mike Reyes, Prelude. Yes, I love my 99. And then Franco says 5 S10s, please. And then Grant says, welcome to Casa del Scrap Palace.
Casa del Scrap Palace.
And then Alex saying, popping back in quick. Does anyone know where I can buy a Mountain Dewar t-shirt? I love you all.
Somebody needs to make one of those. Just like one joke one for real.
No, it's Mounting Doer, dude.
But it's done in
Doer.
the font, in the style. Looks like the shirt, and it's just...
You know who can make that? I know there's a person in this chat right now that can make that.
Totally.
Yeah.
100%.
Where are
Ridiculous
you?
saying, I want to get Disney Plus for my baby. She loves Gabby's Dollhouse, and I'm sure she'd like Bluey too. Yep. David says, I've had 3 Preludes. Parts will be a challenge. Sadly, they're also rust buckets. I sold my last 3rd gen Lude in 2010, and it was a 5-speed and 4-wheel steering.
Yeah, that's the
4-wheel steer Preludes, dude.
They're pretty rad.
Sick.
Those are cool cars.
Did you know I saw one, though, the early, what gen was it? It's the 2nd gen, right?
Yeah, it's the 2nd gen.
2nd gen had the 4-wheel steer, right? Boxy.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. It was a
late 80s, early...
Late 80s.
Yeah.
Late 80s, yeah.
92 or 3 is when they did
the 4-wheel
right
steer
before
is like a
beginning
party
of
trick,
90s.
dude.
The
first time I saw one was at that Honda Day thing last year. I'd never seen one in
Kid
person.
was so excited to show you.
No, I used to, there was one that used to come in the car wash when I was 17, and my mom had an 89 Accord Coupe, or 90 Accord Coupe, 89, and I used to go, I wish it was this. I wish it was this. It was white with the burgundy interior with white wheels. And I would hop in the car wash and I would turn that 4-wheel steer on and I'd pull it up into the car wash and I'd open the door and look
so you can make sure that
those back wheels were turning.
Nice. So cool.
Doing its thing. G says Dane's custom sport track with his and her bidets.
Yes.
That'd be nice.
But don't.
Dane is going to be Boise's Richard Rawlings. Then Gabe says, just buy some Toyotas. Style, reliability, potential profit.
Okay, I have a note about that, Gabe. The hard part is anything I buy Toyota, functionally, like if it's an SUV, it's a body on frame, it has these doors, whatever. If I buy a car from any other manufacturer that has those same specifications, I'm paying a third or a quarter of the price. I'm simply buying people's expectations of reliability, and so they expect that they're going to get that money.
Are you saying that a Mitsubishi could potentially offer more bang for the buck than that of a Toyota?
Yes, as much as you want to give Montero's crap, a Montero
Toyotas.
versus
He's
a
always
4Runner,
Toyotas.
You can definitely make it work, but Mitsubishi doesn't have good part support in the U.S.
hatred.
anymore.
He used to make fun of my Camry. He makes fun of your 4Runner.
I
he
owned
made fun
a
of his
Tacoma.
own Tacoma.
I'm allowed to speak on
All
these
you did was
things.
talk about
Tacoma that his dog ate bones in the back of the back seat.
Give her greasy bones.
Slobbered all over.
You know I did
bones all
that
over
and
the
sent you
seats.
guys a picture because I knew it would upset you.
Yes, it was
we know.
terrifying.
Disgusting.
That you did that.
And guess what? It was fine.
Kind of.
It was totally
Chunky
fine.
Monkey Garage.
That sounds like a delicious ice cream.
Man. All right, we're on to page 1 now already.
There we
Dang.
go.
Will warm or ruin towels? Spirit Fine Detailing South
No.
Bay.
No, but hot will.
No.
Hot water.
Hot water too many times could potentially cause a problem.
I'm assuming that's what he's talking about.
G. Davis says, if Mounting Doer merch becomes a thing, I'm suing.
I'm suing.
I'm suing. Oh, I'm suing.
Darren said, so I did my weekly microfiber wash this week, and I chucked in a wash pad that had been left wet that has a stale smell. My towels came out smelling awful. Would another soak in R2R help? Yes.
Well,
so when we were testing R2R, that was one of the things we did was we had towels that had literally sat wet in a garbage bag for 1 year that we'd crack open.
Dude, when you saw the mold on these towels, it was disgusting.
It was gross. But yeah, you do a full couple washes and they were good to go.
That was actually probably a hazard situation that I was being subjected to.
Yeah. Well, we made Morgan do it. So.
Well, no, me and Morgan did it. And she's like, is this safe, Anthony? I'm like, of course it is.
Sure.
It's fine.
Grant saying,
Turned out
G.
great.
Davis, if you need to sue, Stephen P. is the man for you. Spirit Fine Detailing saying, still use a grease and wax remover like custom KW901, which is a pro-level surface prep. Is this at all still helpful, or can lighter surface preps do the job equally well? Yes, all paint preps can do the job far better than most grease and wax removers. Yeah, especially nowadays. G. Davis says, Grant, I have the firm of Bergie and Closen on permanent retainer. And then Han says, you'll be getting a huge invoice then. And then Gary at L&L Detail Supply, Long Island Detail Supply. Hey guys, have you guys used FSE to dry after using ONR Absolute? Yes. I've done that method with the Pluffle and Gauntlet with insane slickness results. Wondering your opinion on that. Yeah, no, I've done it. I use FSE at home during the summer because I'll wash outside and it just car dries so fast. This way I can go back in. Once I pull it in the garage, I can wipe it down with FSC just to get any water spots that were created in that amount of time. Yep. But yeah, I find the slickness great. David, can you guys go through the off-road line of TRC microfiber and possibly a video of them? Yeah, we totally can do that in the future. Yeah. Gran, what suspension coilover coating do you recommend? Brand new Johns need some protection.
Coating you recommend? I would use probably diamond wheels or C5, man. That's what I've been using all my suspension stuff, and it's held up great.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing my brakes, right? All my new brake components that I'm doing here in the next couple days.
You're coating the faces of your discs?
No. I'm coating the hub.
Oh, okay.
The hub. It's going to look pretty. And then after I paint my calipers, right, in the G2 ceramic caliper paint, I will be coating those as well to keep those looking nice. Should I coat my coilovers as well, or is that kind of crazy?
Well, so is this, what type of G2 ceramic paint? Is this tractor paint?
Wait, I know the G2 paint because that's, I think, what I
tractor
used on the,
Yeah, it's tractor paint.
It's what you used on what?
That's what I used on one side of the calipers.
Oh, you used G2?
I'm pretty sure it was G2. Yeah, it was a yellow G2 caliper paint.
And that's how you had your mustard and
ketchup and mustard.
Yeah, because the stock ones were red, and I was like, it's fading. I need to do something to replace it.
He ran out.
Ran out?
No, I only painted one side.
Well, because he ran out of paint.
Because you ran out of paint.
No, I did it on one side because I wanted to see what it looked like, and I purposely kept the wrap
anyway,
with the red
another
side
thing,
and the yellow
guys,
side, so I could see
great
which
thing
looked
you can
better
pick
with
up
the wrap,
is
the
a
red side or
ketchup
the
and
yellow
mustard
side.
styled.
People
calipers.
act like I don't know what I'm doing. I have a logic to the things I do. It's just not necessarily
ketchup and mustard
everybody
on a hot
else's
dog.
logic.
It's the glizzy jag.
You are never going to see both sides of the car at the same time. That was my logic.
It's relish.
It's relish in the middle.
Yes,
relish green.
It's a glizzy. The whole car is
an inside-out hot dog.
Inside-out hot dog.
Interior for the bun. You got the green relish.
It's just inside out.
Yes.
You guys can pick up the glizzy jag today. Search Facebook Marketplace for Jag XKR.
The Jag glizzy.
I was about to say
pop on there.
I was going to say a different word. I said, I can't say that on here.
G. Dave is saying zero chance Anthony lets his child or any child clean his cars.
Yeah, that's probably right.
David Boyce says, my Acura 2005 Acura RL has adaptive headlights.
Yes,
nice.
They're nice. They're fun to have.
David Cervantes, as soon as Anthony's kid makes conscious decisions, she will either be a menace to his cleanliness or a helper.
I'm really hoping, leaning towards the latter there.
My kids just don't want to help at all. Augie wanted to help when he was little, but he only had a very short attention span, and now he does. They don't even want to do that.
Well, I'm also kind of like, I'm using a lot of chemicals out there. I don't know what's really going to be
don't
fun.
let them
pH
get hurt.
balanced soaps.
O&R
and
and pH balanced soaps.
Just it's my favorite when I'm out front washing my car.
Yeah, and you don't want your child to ruin
using
it.
a high pH soap, and I have all the neighbor kids, because I'm like the Pied Piper. They're like, Anthony,
they run through it like a fire hydrant,
and they're like they're playing in the phone with their bare
chemical
feet.
burns for everybody.
I'm like telling parents, I say, hey, there's a lot of chemicals in that, and they go, oh, they're fine.
What are
I'm
you
like,
running,
I'm like,
Brake Buster?
I'm like,
straight?
No. I'm like, they're not fine. Get them out of that.
No.
Glenn says, got pulled away at work. I missed that last 40 minutes. Looking forward to seeing you guys at the end of May.
Man.
Right on, Glenn.
There.
G. Davis says Dane also dropped $2,800 at the Express Cafe's annual gravy dip speed dating night. And then Cervantes, any possibility of an Ohio Midwest tour? We've talked about it. It's
we're gonna give it a little bit.
We
got
to figure it out still.
We got to
but
come up with some stuff.
we haven't done the East Coast Adventure in like 4 years, so it's definitely time to get back out there.
We actually technically we need to make a southern trip.
We do
before we make that trip, because technically we're going to. I'm going to be at Chicago Auto Pros here.
So's Dane.
Actually, so's Dane. Here in April.
Hi, I exist.
And Jimmy. So 3 of us. It's a boys' trip, right? Mm-hmm. It's going to be the fun kids, like the cool kids.
I can't wait to have to come bail you guys out of jail. It's going to be crazy.
You probably will. But that'll be one trip there that we're going to be doing. But then maybe a southern, like a true south, Southern California, because the deep south. Right?
We go deep south, Southern California.
We go deep south. We go hit up L.A., right? We go see what L.A. detailing's like.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Actually, we have a lot of connections down there.
We do have a lot of
fine.
We would just be just fine down there.
We have
Alpha saying if you could all drive only one car, what would it be?
Oh, Alpha.
Elantra? Civic?
They're opening a can of Dane worms right now. Which I
have so many answers that I'm going to keep it to myself, other than just say being practical. If I had something I had to do, like grocery trips in and everything, Ferrari GT 4C Lusso.
That's not an everyday car.
No, it has a hatchback, it has all-wheel drive, and has a V12 that screams.
Dane's unrealistic.
It is unrealistic, but he's just saying if you had any car, you had to have one car.
If you all can drive one car.
Or is it one car we all have to share?
No. Who knows? Darren
that's
saying,
we're
well,
just skipping
as
the fun questions.
another TRC Thursday podcast comes to its end, please, to all those new and old who are watching, just tap that like button. Make sure you're subscribed, and we'll hopefully see you all next week. JD, Dana's like headlights may or may not go out in the middle of the night, resulting in a minor severe injury or even death. Please consult your doctor before purchasing.
Dude, that's not even what the light means. All it means is it won't turn with the quarters. They function otherwise identical
hit a deer
as they should.
Well, the mountains,
literally,
or a cow.
The stock XK, not
Hopefully
the XK, or the base XK.
Well, the nice thing is he's getting
standard.
He'll pick up the F-Type and it'll have it. He doesn't have to worry about it anymore.
I don't do that to the people who buy from me. I'm a good seller.
Anthony says, hey guys, it's snowing here. Enjoy it, Anthony. It was snowing here the other day. And G. Davis, for all those affected, I hope Dane doesn't apply his forever principle to other parts of his life.
This is my forever job.
And G. Davis, do not search for the Glizzy Jag.
Oh, no.
And Grant says, I can picture Dane on a forklift in front of a Smash Palace wearing Pit Viper's greasy face topless with a backyard full of pintos. And then G. Davis,
get it right. They'd be Mustang 2 King Cobras.
When I think of the Deep South, I think of Anthony's boyhood road trip to SoCal for nothing. That's a good one. Good one, G.
Oh, that's good.
Ryan Rigdon, thank you guys for another excellent show, gents. Funny how the Rag Company became my comfort blanket. The irony is real. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan.
And then Alpha says, "Looks like Levi, your shirt looks like the Dunkin' Donuts logo."
That's the joke.
Because it is.
Detailer's domain.
It's meant to look that way, yes.
Parody. No, it is. It'll be fun to be out back east again. I'm very excited to head that way. I'm bummed I'm not on this Chicago trip.
I know.
We can get you on it.
I asked John yesterday.
Did you?
I said, why can't I go to Chicago? And he goes, because you're going to the East Coast. And I said, yeah, but the boys are going to the East Coast. He's like, yeah, but you got to go to Orlando and they didn't.
You did
and
go
I
to
said,
MT and we didn't.
But I'm the one that does all the traveling.
Yeah.
I'm the one employee that gets to do all trips.
For what it's worth, I really don't like traveling all that often.
He avoids
what's
traveling.
nice is that if Levi goes, at least I don't have to think about anything. Because here's what's going to happen: if it's me, Dane, and Jimmy, I'm the dad on the trip, right?
Hold on, I'm the responsible one telling other people not to go do.
You are the
sketchy
responsible
things.
person, but you will also be the person at the airport that says, "Okay, so which way do we go, Anthony?" And I would
Yes,
just
no, my
say-
sense of direction is
And
bad.
I would have to
And then
say-
you go, we got to go to the rental car booth and pick up our rental car.
Well,
and then,
where's that?
And then they get there, and then Dane gets in, and you're going to spend 20 minutes as he adjusts his seatbelt.
I'm giving you ample time to get
Just-
prepared for the
just-
journey that follows.
all the
Dane will
mirrors.
be a good team player, but I'm just saying.
Okay, so where are we going?
Jimmy is
Jimmy
not
is a
your
responsible
dad.
guy. We're not calling him
Jimmy-
immature
how are we
by
getting
any
there?
means.
Jimmy doesn't even have a credit card right
He's
now.
just kind of quiet during those things. He's just chilling, flipping
he
around on
doesn't
TikTok.
even have credit. So basically, till he grows up.
Gabe's laughing on
Yeah,
that
no,
one.
he's dying
That's
out
awesome.
there.
So that's the problem. So we do need Levi there to be a parent.
Yeah.
So
Champagne.
Champagne.
You guys ever been to Sweden? No, we'd love to.
Been to Switzerland,
a
but
bunch
not
of Northern Europeans. We would love to be up there.
That'd be fun.
Alpha Detail Supply. You guys do a video on how the Rag Company started, or is there one already? There's a couple
can look
about
back,
us.
yeah.
We've got our old About Us video, and then we also have the video that we did for your parents a couple of years ago.
So for TRCMA a couple of years ago, we did some like nice throwback videos. They're a couple of years old now, but you can find them. It might be easier to find them here on the podcast channel if you look back. And
Or go to the Rag Company, go to videos and the playlists, and then it'll have some about the company.
I created a playlist on the main Rag Company channel called
did.
Company Information and also one called The Fun Stuff. It's on one of those two playlists, possibly
there you go.
both. So go look for it there.
G. Davis says, great show, boys. G, thank you for being back in action. We
keeping it
love this.
spicy.
You've been
We
amazing.
love the consistent
Yeah.
laughs. Helps us get through this and wakes us up a little
Yeah,
bit.
that's been awesome.
Especially
Randy
on
saying,
Friday.
great show, y'all.
Yep.
Thank you, guys. Dane, take us home.
All right, so that's it, guys. Yet another successful Q&A Thursday here on the Rag Company podcast YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed here already, but you're already subscribed to our other channel, make sure you do it here too, because Q&As aren't going anywhere from now on. They're here on the podcast channel. We need to make sure you're subscribed to both channels so you don't miss a thing. That's right. Thank you for being a product yeller right there at the end.
Thank you,
Ricochet.
Randy.
We appreciate it. Now, if you haven't already clicked like on this video, that's the last thing I'm going to ask you to do today. We really appreciate you taking taking the time to watch us, and we love answering your questions and having some jokes along the way. So thank you for all that. Now, next week, we'll be back on the podcast channel for another Main Show podcast, and that's what you got to look forward to.
We'll be eating a lot of food.
Enjoy your
Tuesday's
weekends.
podcast.
Have a wonderful time, and we'll catch up with you then. Take care. Bye-bye.
See ya.